Of course, ano yung isang type? So kung may natural ka, meron kayong artificial light. So ano naman yung source ng artificial light mo? Okay. 1, you have an incandescent lamp. 2, fluorescent lamp. I think ito common na to, alam na ng marami to. 3, high intensity discharge lamp or HID. Under HID, there are 3 types. So may mercury vapor, there is metal halide, MH, HPS, high pressure sodium. Usually itong mga to nakikita nyo ginagamit sa mga roadway lighting. And then of course, yung LED lamps. So iba't ibang klase yan. We'll discuss later yung mga types of LED lamps according to their base or yung screw type nila. So, and then yung maliban sa sources, sa artificial lighting, of course, meron kang indoor lighting and outdoor lighting. So yun yung sa mga garden, more on sa mga landscape architects. So for this purpose, for this discussion, we will focus solely on indoor lighting. Okay. So yung basic lighting parameters, no? Ano ba 'yon? So there are a lot of terms na wag kayong malito. Okay. 1 is yung luminous flux. Basically, yung luminous flux is the total quantity of light emitted by a light source. It's measured in lumens. So, basically parang kung i-connote mo siya doon sa dating traditional na incandescent, ito yung parang approximately parang yung wattage or power niya. Later on, I'll discuss the difference between wattage and lumens. Okay. So, aside from lumens, we have to also know yung luminous efficiency. This is measured in lumens per watt, or sometimes abbreviated as LPW. It is the ratio of the luminous flux to the electrical power consumed. So, kunyari meron kang fixture na 300 lumens, and then ang wattage consumed nun is 10 watts. So, ano ang LPW niya? 300 divided by 10. So, ganon. Normally, ang good fixture naglalaro sa 80 LPW pataas. So, 80 is a good LPW is a good benchmark for a fixture. Okay. Another basic lighting parameters is yung luminous intensity. It describes the luminous flux that is radiated in a given direction per solid angle. This is measured in candela. Okay, so yung candela, makita nyo dito sa description dito, is 1 lumen per SR. Ano yun? Steradian. Steradian is basically yung solid angle na, so radiating yung yung fixture mo. So, and then when you cut out yung solid angle, that's 1 steradian. So 1 steradian is equal to yung radius niya squared. So yung area na yon. So yun yung luminous intensity. Yun yung 1 candela. And then illuminance. Basically yung this one and yung susunod kong di-discuss na basic lighting parameters. Ito yung mga terms na madalas yung may encounter sa field niyo. So illuminance, amount of luminous flux falling on a given surface, A. So it is measured in lux kung metric yung gamit mo, or foot candle kung English. It's like yung inches and centimeter. So lux is metric system. Yung foot candle, that is English. Okay. One thing to consider, So yung lux or foot candle, it decreases by the square of the distance, inverse square law. May concept lang ng physics dito. So habang i-increase yung distance by the square, so bumababa yung ano niya, yung lux. So 1 lux is equal to 1 lumen per square meter. Or kung babalik na rin naman natin sa English system, 1 foot candle is equal to 1 lumens per square foot. And then, how do you convert between the two? So, 1 foot candle is equal to 10.76 lux. Normally, ano na lang, sinushorten times 10.8. Ganon. So, if you have 30 foot candles times 10.8, may na ako sa math, gamitin na yung calculator. Okay, so this term lumens, lux, foot candle, ito madalas may encounter nyo sa field. Dito sa Philippines, mas gamit yung lux. Okay, luminance. Luminance is defined as the ratio, take note the ratio of the luminous intensity, which is in candela, of a surface to the projected area, square meter of the surface. So, ang ano niya, candela per square meter. So, yung CDM actually madalas mapapansin nyo, it's a specs, minsan even yung sa mga TV, monitors, cellphone, usually, how bright ba yung ano niyan? It's CDM, usually yan yung binibigay yung ng mga special sa mga appliances, no. Luminance is the only basic lighting parameter that is perceived by the eye. All the others are mathematical. It specifies the brightness of a surface and is essentially dependent on its reflectance, finish or color. So pag darker, nag-absorb siya. So pag lighter yung color, mas nagre-radiate siya ng kandela. So sa mata mo, mas mataas ang ano niya, luminance niya. So ito lang yung parameter sa lighting dependent sa human perspective. All the others are mathematical. Okay, so Okay. Siguro ito yung mga few things na naririnig nyo na even kahit hindi pa kayo ID students. So there are some few basic terms used in lighting. So there's yung watts, color temperature or color temp. Sa iba, it's CCT. Later, I'll discuss what does that mean. Color rendering or CRI. Beam angle. Bulb shapes. Lamp bases. So meron ako dito, siguro mamaya I'll later use yung mobile ko to show you or mamaya kung abutin ko na lang. Okay, and then lastly, yung IP rating. Okay. So watts, in lighting terms, so wattage, no, is the amount of energy it takes to produce a certain amount of light. Generally, okay, the higher the wattage, the brighter the light. But also, the more power it uses. Itong system na to, ito yung system na nakagisnan natin sa incandescent lamp. Nabanggit ko kanina, light is a thermal energy. It's a radiation. So before, like sa incandescent lamp, the more you heat, so the more you burn, the more nag-glow yung filament, di ba? So basically, kung makita nyo sa graph, mostly yung energy consumed na pupunta to heat up the filament, but not to produce yung light, which is yung glow, yung radiation, yung thermal radiation, where you get your visible light. And then, nagkaroon ng CFL. So, konti na lang ang ginamit na heating element doon, may mga electronics na doon. Later on, naging LED. So before, yes, the higher the wattage, mas maliwanag siya. But hindi na ngayon, as makita natin dito sa next slide. Sa panahon ngayon ng LED, so yung watts is basically energy use. Yung lumens, yun ang tingnan mo, yung lumens. Yun yung brightness niya. For example, I'll get for example. Pamain na lang pamain. Okay, example Okay, so for example, this one is 7 watts, for example. Masyado maliit yung 700 lumens. 700 lumens. Okay. For example, merong 10 watts na bulb. Assuming natin there's another competitor dito. Kunyari ito isang bulb ni competitor. So 7 watts ito 10 watts. For example lang. Tatanungin ko, ano mas maliwanag? Normally sasabihin mo yung 10 watts. No. So, tingnan mo yung lumens pareho. 'Di ba? Minsan na-encounter namin to sa mga specification, specifically mga contractor. Naka-specify. Kasi nanggaling tayo sa ganung system yung incandescent system. So, sabi niya, naka-specify 10 watts ganyan. Okay, question ko, ano yung lumens ng 10 watts na yon? What if I can deliver the same lumens and then 5 watts? Bibili mo ba yung akin? Get it? Diba? Doon pumasok naman yung LPW. Diba? So, please, tanggal sa panahon ngayon LED, it's a general rule but it's not 100%. It's just a guide. Still check for the lumens. Okay? Ayun. Yun lang yung masasabi ko dun sa wattage versus lumens. So tanggalin na natin yung old not generally true. Okay. Ano pa yung terms na ma-encounter ninyo? Color temperature, or sometimes called correlated color temperature, CCT in the lighting tech jargon, is measured in degrees Kelvin temperature. It is the color appearance of light, whether it's warm or cool. The lower the Kelvin temperature, the warmer the light color. So as we move up dito sa chart na to, it becomes cooler. So hanggang sa taas, nagiging bluish. May mga ibang tao, sensitive sa parang blue light. So normally ang mga advertised na mga color temp, mga common for warm white, nasa 2,700 Kelvin, 3,000 Kelvin, so we sometimes call 3K, ganyan. Yung cool white, or sometimes tinatawag ng term neutral white, nasa mga around 4,000 Kelvin. And then yung daylight, starting sa 5,000 Kelvin, merong mga iba rated at 6,500 Kelvin. Ito yung medyo bluish na. Some are sensitive sa ganito. So yung 5 and 6 na 6,500 Kelvin, ito yung considered daylight. So at least just a guide sa inyo. Okay. So na-mention ko, no, in light bulb terms, the main colors you will see advertised are warm white, WW abbreviation, cool white, CW, sometimes yung nga nabanggit ko kanina, neutral white or NW. Although mas ginagamit cool white, and then daylight or DL. So sabihin, bigyan mo ako ng 5 watts DL na lighting fixture. Ganyan. So yun yung ibig sabihin niya. Or 3K na na downlights. That's 3,000 Kelvin. So makikita niyo yan sa mga specification, sa mga minsan nasa packaging or minsan mismo dun sa bulb. or even yung sa mga lighting fixtures. So makikita nyo din yung color temp. So wattage, lumens, ayan. Iba, minimension yung efficacy, yung LPW, CRI, and others. Okay. For lighting building interiors, no, it is important to take into consideration the color temperature in a room. So nabanggit ko nga, for example, a warmer color temperature light is often used in public areas to promote relaxation, like in restaurants or hotel lobbies. So yung mga medyo yellowish na na ambiance. While a cooler or higher color temperature light is used to enhance concentration, like in offices, call center, classroom, yung kailangan alert ka, ganon. So, use daylight. Okay, let's go to sa color rendering index or CRI. What is CRI? It is a quantitative measure of the ability of a light source to reproduce the colors of various objects faithfully in comparison with an ideal or natural light source. Of course, a natural light source is the sun. The higher the CRI, the better the color rendering ability. So lumalabas yung true colors niya. Incandescent and halogen light source have a CRI close to 100. LED, fluorescent, and metal halide light sources, usually meron yan CRI 85 to 90, which are considered good. Light sources with CRI 90 or higher are excellent at color rendering. Usually, yung mga general bulbs makikita nyo sa market, nasa 80 yan, CRI 80. Pumalo ka ng 90 and above, medyo pang mga professional lighting na yan. So yan ang gagamitin nyo na sa mga specific applications. Also, it is important to note that CRI is independent of color temperature. So pwede ka magkaroon ng, like in this example, 2,700 Kelvin na warm color temp na CRI 95. Pero meron kang 5,000 Kelvin or daylight na color temp, CRI 75 lang. So, mas yung color appearance sa warm white, mas mas mataas pa ang color rendering niya. So, independent ang CRI sa color temp. Ang mata natin usually, sa warm, sa daylight, nag-a-adjust ang mata natin actually. It's a nature ng mata natin. Parang auto-white balance. So, yung whiteness, mata natin, sa perception natin, yung white, pag tingnan mo sa daylight and warm white, pag nag-adjust yung mata mo, it's almost the same sa perception mo. Color rendering index, no? So, saan ba required or suggested to use high CRI for color accuracy? Of course, sa mga high-end retail stores like jewelry shops, mga luxury watch, and branded apparel and bag stores. Of course, gusto nyo ma-highlight. Yan, mga ginto, talagang ginto. Or yung damit na binili nyo, for example, sa isang mamahaling store, yung orange na nakita mo dun sa store, paglabas mo ng mall, yung pagkakita mo ng orange na yun, dapat same pa rin pagdating mo sa labas. Pag mababa ang CRI nun sa tindahan, baka magulat ka, parang neon orange or something na pala. So, doon kailangan mataas ang CRI mo. Art galleries and museum, of course, you deal with colors, paint. You want to appreciate yung true intention ng artist. Another one sa bakery and pastry shops. So gusto mo appealing, yung mga colors ng mga chocolates mo, strawberries, nagpa-pop out. Supermarket, fruit and meat section, Napansin nyo ba minsan yung sa ordinaryong palengke na ano nila ng like mga warm or incandescent yung ano para maging mamula-mula yung ano yung karne. So importante ang CRI sa mga pagpili ng mga dyan sa mga areas ng mga fruit and meat section para lang makita natin totoong sariwa ba yan. High color rendering is not important for all applications. Warehouses, industrial plants, even most offices do not require high CRI. When I say high, 90 and above. 80, that's good sa ano offices. Okay, another term na ma-encounter nyo, beam angle. The beam angle defines the area where the lamp radiates at least half or 50% of its maximum luminous intensity. So yung beam na yon, yung luminous intensity, kunin mo yung 50% nun, yun yung defined na beam angle. Yung gitna, usually yun yung 100%. Outside of the 50%, usually yung up to yung extent na may 10% pa nung intensity nung light source, yun naman yung complete field angle. Pero normally may mga spill pa yan outside of that, the field angle. Pero basically for computation sa lighting, ang term na ginagamit, itong beam angle na 50% of yung sa maximum luminous intensity niya. The field angle defines the outer area in the light circle where the lamp radiates up to 1/10 of its maximum luminous intensity, yung sinabi ko kanina. Even outside the field angle, it is not completely dark. Small parts of the luminous intensity are still emitted as scattered light. Okay. So, below, may illustration ako, shows the different types of beam angles. Different manufacturers have their parang range. Pero generally, so there's yung very narrow spot, which is mga below 7 degrees. Ito, super narrow na to. Then you have yung 5 to 15, which is nasa narrow spot. Then you have 16 to 22. I'm talking degrees. Then narrow flood, 23 to 32. Flood, 32 hanggang 48. Usually, nandito naglalaro ordinary downlights. 23 up to mga 45. Wide flood, 45 to 60. To give an idea, sometimes paano mo nalaman kung anong beam angle gagamitin ko? So, ito basically parang halos physics lang ito eh. The table below gives you an overview of the diameter of the light circle with different beam angles and a ceiling height of 8 feet. Normally sa ordinary bahay, yan yung ceiling height mo. So kung ang beam angle ng fixture mo ay 15 degrees, pagdating sa baba, 8 feet, meron kang diameter na 2.1. So 30 degrees, so lumalaki 4 feet. 45 degrees, may 6.6 feet ka. So malaki na yon, di ba? Kaya naman medyo ko kanina, doon naglalaro sa 30 and 45. Usually, yung mga ordinary na downlights. Yung 60 degrees, meron ka na 9 feet nun. Of course, yung 90 degrees, 16 feet. Para ng ano yan, free throw area. Ganun kalaki at 8 feet. All the more, pag tumaas pa yung ano mo, mounting height mo, lumalaki yung ano mo, yung coverage mo. And then, of course, 120 degrees, that's 27 feet, almost 28 feet. Imagine at 8 feet height. So, this is a parang rule of thumb ito. Depende pa rin dun sa lighting fixtures. Minsan may ibang fixtures may lens, spot, or baffle. So, this is just a rule of thumb. Okay, how do you apply this dun sa residential and commercial? So different ways varying beam angles can be used in residential and commercial are yung narrow sa bahay. A narrow beam angle can be used to create a focal point, drawing attention to a prized piece of art family photo or trophy. It works well for task lighting. So medyo naka-spot ka. Yung medium bulbs with yung bulbs with medium beam angle are ideal for a variety of fixtures and application, acting as a layer of general or ambient lighting in living rooms and other common areas. So yung medium, pang mga general lighting na yan. A wide beam angle is well suited for general lighting at home, effectively covering a larger area with light. They're often used for motion sensing security lights or recessed lighting both in and outdoors. So, ito yung usually ginagamit sa mga perimeter lighting, security lighting. And then very wide. A very wide beam angle illuminates an area without creating a focal point, making them a great choice for low ceiling downlights and flood lamps. So, pag low ceiling ka, use a wide angle. For commercial, so sa commercial setting, same lang din. A narrow beam angle, ginagamit mo to highlight artworks, displays, architectural features, merchandise. So sa mga retail stores. Narrow beam angles, kailangan din yan sa mga jewelry stores to focus din sa mga sing-sing, relo, malilit na item. So again, sa commercial, same lang. Yung medium beam angle is for ambient lighting, specifically sa mga restaurant. Bulbs with wide beam angles often act as general lighting in commercial environments, usually by providing overhead illumination in the form of recessed lighting. So, pag sa commercial, medyo usually matataas ng ceiling niyan. So, you want larger coverage since yung area na iniilawan mo, mas malaki. So you want a wider beam angle. Then again, sa commercial application, yung very wide beam angles are most often used sa mga street lamps. So sa mga lamp posts, parking, security lighting, perimeter lighting. So dun mo makikita usually yan dun sa mga commercial application. Okay, bulb shapes, no? Teka, siguro mga few dito siguro alam niyo na naman, although I have a sample ano. So there are a lot of bulb shapes, no? So yung sa A series, medyo malayo dito. Pero I know you're familiar with this. So meron tayo. Ang common size usually yung mga A19 pataas. Mga ganyan. Para din yung sa mga ano, ito, mga ganun. Usually mga ganyan sizes yung mga ordinary ano. Of course, you have yung highlight ko lang yung mga common na C series, ito yung sa mga candle or blunt tip. Yung CA, ito yung bent tip. And then, yung R series, usually, ito yung tinatawag nila na reflector lamp. Before, ito yung mga ginagamit na mga heat lamps. Then, yung MR, common dyan yung MR11 and MR16. Yung dating tinatawag nilang, all of this is LED version na. Sorry. Ito yung MR. Ito yung ano niya. So parang pin. Kaya MR, yung multi-faceted reflector, yung dating sa dichroic. So there's a parang parabolic ano dyan. So you have yung MR11 and MR16. BR is parang reflector lamp lang din yan. Bulge reflector. So same pero parang ganon. G series or yung globe lamps. Saan na ba yung ito. Sa globe. Gusto ko lang pakita to. Ganda eh. Yan. This a hand-painted na, no? So, ganyan, pag ano. Customize to. Okay. So, by the term G globe. So, G25. So, G40. Then, you have yung T-series or yung tubular. Etong tubular, mamaya may pakita rin ako sa pan-tubular. Pero ito yung tubular na naka-E27. Screw type base. Usually itong tubular, before, ito yung mga ginagamit sa HID lamps. Meron akong tubular dito. Ito. Ngayon, sa LED, meron na ring tubular. Para sa lighting fixture na masisikip yung area. Ayan. Usually ito ginagamit mo pag yung housing or yung ng fixture, kasi pag gumamit ka nung ganito, minsan bumabangga siya, di ba? So usually ito narrow, so tubular gagamitin mo. Plus doon sa lalo na doon sa LED filament, walang shadow. Unlike ito, pag pinasok mo sa isang housing ng isang lighting fixture, may shadow dito sa ilalim. So, you can use mga ganito, especially mga LED filament type. Others. So, meron tayo yung BT series, ED series. Again, ito usually sa mga dati before sa mga ano to, HID. Although, meron rin lumalabas na ganito, especially yung BT series na mga LED filament. AR111. Usually mga ganito, tawag AR111. So ganyan. Pag sinabi mo AR111.
Again, yung... Sorry.
Okay, sure. Is there a question?
No, sir. I was asking kung saan ginagamit yung AR111.
Okay. So, may mga... Yung AR111 kasi, these are normally higher yung wattage. So, mga 15, 17, pataas. And then, siguro I'll get a fixture dito na... Mabuti nandito tayo sa showroom, no? Wait lang, ha? Dali lang. Nasa taas. Or ito na lang much better yan. Kasi ito kasi hindi ibig sabihin.
Pinahirapan na kita, Sir Melvin.
Okay, dali lang, ha?
Yes, sir.
Actually, mamaya sa tour, actually, papakita ko sa inyo, meron dito naka AR111. O guys, pamain na lang, ha? SS na lang. Okay. Normally, may mga iba kasi na kailangan mo mababaw yung profile niya. Maliit. Pansin mo to. Ganun lang. Pag gumamit ka ng mga 15, 17 watts, for example, E27, ang taas nun. So, kaya iba ginagamit, ganyan. Dito yung ano niya. So ganyan. So, usually ito ginagamit sa mga housing na mga maliliit yung ano. Sabi ano, yan. Yung depth niya. So, kung yung mga sa ilalim ng ceiling mo, ito, dun mo siya gagamitin, AR111. It requires a driver, Although may AR111 na, usually AR111 usually may driver na kailangan. Ayan. Compare mo, pag naka E27 ka, tingnan mo to. E27 yan. Compare mo to. Sumabit yung aking ano. Ayan. Ang commercial area, malakihan na kasi yung kailangan mo, di ba? So, pansinin mo to. Ganyan. Actually, ito mataas pa nga ito. Meron bang mas maano eh. Mas maninipis na ano eh, AR111 eh. Di ba? Pag E27 ginamit mo, ang laki niyan. Di ba? Thank you dun sa nag-mine, ha? Ito yung manipis. AR111 ito. See?
Yeah. All right.
Di ba? I think may setup ito dun sa, sa showroom eh. Yes, ito. So, pansinin mo to. 2-axis yan. Sabi ko sa inyo, mine nyo na lang eh. Di ba? Kita ba? Ayun. 2-axis yan. May ganon, tas may ganon. So, sa commercial area, kailangan medyo flexible ka. So, ito usually ginagamit sa mga ganon. This one, truck naman ito, truck. AR111 din. Yan. So parang tinatap mo lang yung wire. May parang pin doon eh. Pag nakita niyo sa drawing na ano, tinatap mo lang yung ano noon, yung pin, 2 pin doon. What else? Ito, isang version ng I like the question. Thank you for that wonderful question.
Thank you for the wonderful presentation, sir.
That's good one. That's good one. Ito, it's another AR111. Ito mas kita yung direct type. 220 na yan. Kaya ako pinili ito kasi, yung doon sa conventional, ito yung may aluminum reflector pa before. So, para makita nyo, yung dati sa traditional, although this is LED, yung ano talaga yung pinanggalingan ng AR, aluminum reflector. So, ito kasi medyo cover. Ito pa pala. Since nandito na rin tayo sa topic. Nakita niyo yung ito, maraming mata. Ito, isa lang.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sa commercial establishment, especially, kunyari, mga window display, what do you think ang magiging effect nung pag ito, yung maraming mata or COB, chip on board, ang ginamit ninyo as compared to this one?
Sir, can I guess?
Sagot. Yes.
Sir, pero i-reward mo sa akin yan. De, joke lang.
Pwede na ako din mag-guess ako.
No, but I feel like those the one on the left
Sila sa AR111
side,
to,
yung
pati sa mga
maraming,
part.
yeah, yung the one na maraming eyes. I think it's providing a lighting that's more wide in scope, and the intensity is brighter compared to the other one that only has a single and more concentrated
Okay.
yes there. So
Okay.
I feel yun yung difference nila.
Okay, that's true for the beam angle. But for the effect, in a retail establishment, tama ka dun sa ano, yung spread niya. So, wider yung spread nito, maraming mata.
Yeah.
And than this focus, mas defined. Okay. Ma'am Hana.
I guess the one with the multiple eyelets is actually more brighter. So in a retail setting, okay.
Not necessarily true. Remember, yung like for example itong COB na to, nare 17 watts. To achieve 17 watts at sa ganito, multiple ano. So pag in-add mo, ganon. Di ba? So pwedeng 3 to ganyan to achieve that 7. Ito kasi 15 to eh. This one is 17. Okay.
17.
Sa retail establishment, yung maraming mata, concept lang ng physics, pag mas marami yung light source, yung shadow na kinakas mo, for example, may mannequin ka, yung shadow na kinakas niya, mas maraming shadow. Imagine niyo parang may flashlight dito, may flashlight dito, may flashlight dito, may flashlight dito. Pag ano nun sa likod, sa wall,
Mas
maraming mga shadow. Try niyo yun. Flashlight time sarili mo dito, flashlight time mo. Or yung hands mo lang, maraming source ng light. Nakuha niyo yung
drama.
yung picture.
Yeah.
So,
Yes,
yun
understood.
yung effect pag maraming mata. This is critical for sa retail, sa retail. Kasi mas gusto mo like sa window
Drama,
display, may drama, correct, may drama and then may high contrast. 'Di ba? So define mo yung sa likod, sa harapan. So gamit ka ng mga COB na na isa lang yung mata. Okay? Okay. I like the question. Okay, par. Ganun din yung sa par. Meron tayo part common, no? Part 20, part 30, palaki na ng palaki yun. Part 38. Okay. Screenshot nyo lang ha, guys, ha. Okay. Okay, ito isa. Okay, yung mga bipin or wedge type. Naalala niyo before tawag ninyo peanut bulb. Ganyan. So meron yung ito LED version na G4. So parang pin lang din siya, parang sa MR. Then meron yung sa G9. Paghalo-halo ko na yung sa screw saka sa bulb. Okay lang, para isang lang sampling. So yan yung mga tinatawag na peanut bulb before. Or wedge type. Wedge type yung G9, yung parang pa letter U yung niya. Sa dalawang letter U. Then of course yung common yung sa linear fluorescent, yung tubular natin. So may yung dati alam niyo yung T4, T5, T8. So ano ba ibig sabihin? So common yan. Pero may mga nagtanong ba ano ba ibig sabihin ng mga number na yon? 4, 5, 8. I don't know kung turo sa mga students yon or T10, T12. What does that mean? Guess? Actually, may meaning yung mga numbers na yon. Even yung mga MR11, MR16. Yung base na yung distance ng pin. T8. So, T8 is 8/8. So, the diameter nun is 1 inch. T5 is 5, again, over 8. So, diameter nun is 5/8. T4 is 4/, again, 8. So, 4/8, 1/2 of an inch. So, doon nang galing yun. Before may T10, mataba-taba na fluorescent. So, 10/8. 1 1/4? Tama ba? Something? Ganon. So, yun yung number na yun.
That's the diameter, sir, of the
Diameter. Correct. Yeah. So, yung compact fluorescent, alam nyo na yan, CFL. So, yung kaya sinabi lang T2, T3, T4. Ganon din yung taba nung na yun. Yung umikot na yun. Over 8. So, yung plug type, yung pin, Ang balas nito, yung alam ko yung mga separate eh. So twin, may ito yung tatawag na 2U, 3U. So ito yon yung CFL na plug-in type. Okay. Ito common na to, yung mga E14, E27, E40. Yung mga E40, since malalaki na yung base, medyo pangmalakihan na. O, di ba? E27, malaki. Actually, may mas malaki pa dito. This is 45 watts. Imaginein mo yung 90 watts. So, E40 or mogul base tawag nila. E14, usually nakikita nyo sa mga candle bulb. And then yung R7S, ito, yung double-ended. Ito yung LED version. Yung old version niyan, ito, hinanap ko pa sa baul to. Ganyan. Oh, paano ba? Oh, yan. Naalala nyo before yung mga floodlight, as ganito yung mga ano? Ito yun, yung mga merong 200, 500 watts. This one, 1,000 watts. So, ganun no, yung dati, more heat, wasted energy. So, para ano, mapailaw mo isang floodlight, you need 1,000 watts. Ngayon, may mga floodlights, 50 watts, 30 watts. Same din yung ano, same din yung brightness na binibigay niya. May nakalimutan ako isa dito kasi natatakpan nitong... Okay. GU10. Parang kala mo yung base niya. Starter. Yan. GU10 yan. So usually sa mga small downlights, between MR16 and GU10 ang pinagpipilian. I think I have sa likod dito. This one. This one is pang GU10 base. Ganyan. So, it's either MR16 or yung GU10 ang usually choices sa mga small downlights. 3 watts, 5 watts, 7 watts, ganyan. So, dito usually naglalaro. Higher wattages to ka na sa mga E27, sa mga PAR, AR. Dito, although may mga mamahalin na MR and GU, pero pang special or professional lighting lang yon. May mga na-encounter ako, 11 watts pa nga eh. Hindi ko na lang mentionin yung name ng brand. It's an international brand. Okay. Kanina na-mention ko na yung mga G4, yung base, no? G4, yung pin kanina, yung halogen. G4. GU 5.3, actually yan yung MR16 mo. Yung distance pin to pin is roughly 5. G9, actually wala akong G9 dito. Ito. yung ano niya is ito LED, yung sa ano is yung parang yung ganun paano ba? Yung nakaganon yung ano, dalawang ano, naalala niyo yun sa mga peanut type. Mini bipin, ito usually nasa mga T4 or T5. Ito. This is an old ano, fluorescent na T5. Ito. Kinuha ko pa sa baul. Yung G10Q4 pin, naalala niyo yung minsan may mga circular kayo na fluorescent? Actually, meron ako nito nasa taas eh. So ito yun, yung 4 pin, yung circular na fluorescent, di ba? Na ginagamit nyo parang center light minsan sa kwarto. So yan yung tinatawag na G10Q 4 pin. Medium bipin, so yan na yung T8 ninyo. Yung kanina mga plug-in type, ito yung mga nakikita nyo na yung second to the last, yung mga G24Q, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q. Nag-iba lang dyan yung mga position ng notch. Umiikot lang. Mga GX23. Ito yung mga plug-in type. Or saka yung mga compact fluorescent.
Sir Melvin?
Yes,
Sorry, excuse me, while we're still here in the bulbs, we
Okay.
have a phone-in question. We
Wow,
have a
phone-in
question
question.
lang. What was the name of the light that you presented a while ago? Yung maraming mata po. What is the technical term for that bulb?
AR111.
Okay. Thank you, sir. AR111.
Yeah. Basta ganyan yung ano
Thank
niya.
you.
Yung pin.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, but what do you call the AR111 din, sir? Yung single light source lang. How do you refer
Kanina,
to the...
Actually, pag AR111 kasi, ito, wala na tong pin kasi plug-in type na. Pero the traditional na pinanggalingan nito,
Yes, they're
ganyan
somehow, yes, same principle pa rin sila, Miss Reg. Parang nanganak lang siya. Nag-improve
Oo.
lang. Yeah.
Yeah. So yan yung in terms of form factor, ito yan. Ganyan. Flat.
Excuse me, Melvin. You also have
Yes,
to maybe tell them that one is 12 volts and the other
yeah.
one is 220. The difference
This one.
between, yeah. Okay, the
This
difference
is,
between the 12 volts, no, and the 220 is actually the 12 volts we can dim it. Okay, pwede nating pwede gamitin ng dimmer to dim. Yung pag direct 220, hindi na natin madidim yun. Except if the bulb is dimmable. Alright? And price-wise, that
mas
one
mahal.
is a lot cheaper. Yung hawak ni Sir Melvin na maraming mata. Okay?
Ito, yes.
Mura yan.
Ito yung common sa market.
Expensive. Yeah, thank you.
So
Ito
when you
yung medyo pang special.
Okay, sir. So when you specify the madaming mata cheaper one, what do you say?
When you specify the cheaper one, paano?
No, I mean, for example, if I'm going to be writing that down on my specs as a designer, how do I write that down?
Model number. There's a model number for it.
There's a model number for it.
Yeah, there's a model number for it.
Oh, it's AR111, but then it has a separate
kada
number.
manufacturer, there's a model number for it.
It's like
Sir Melvin.
sorry. It's like the same case as actually, Melvin, you can show them yung COB natin na MR16 and also the SMD type. The SMD type, right? The ano kasi, the SMD is cheaper, right? Yung maraming mata. The COB is more expensive. So,
right.
It's the same concept as that one. You know.
SMD meaning surface mounted diode.
yung COB, isang buo lang siya, right? Isang
Okay,
buo lang. Tapos yung SMD na yan, yeah, that's the COB.
So can we just refer to it as like SMD and
Oo.
COB?
Yes,
So
for
that's
that one, pwede. Alright? Pwede yan for that one, pwede. Actually, mas cheaper kasi yung SMD. Pero mas maganda ang buga talaga ng COB, right? Because we always provide different solutions for different clients that needs it, no? And then also the price, no? And in terms of heat dissipation, the SMD has a very good heat dissipation kasi medyo nagkakahiwalay yung mga chips niya. Okay. Melvin, thank you.
Oh yes. Isa rin sigurong banggitin ko na rin. So this one is yung parang cheaper version, so yung SMD. Actually ngayon, pag hinahawakan mo siya, super gaan. Imaginein mo, for example, i-connote ko na lang no sa microphone, yung pang videoke, di ba ang gaan? Pero when I don't know kung naka-encounter na kayo na yung mga professional mic, ang bigat niya. As in solid. Parang sa cellphone din. Alam mo yun? Parang pag hinawakan mo, mabigat siya. Alam mo, parang kala mo parang glass. Although may mga iba na plastic, pero mabigat siya. Yung mga SMD, since ang habol mo dito, pang mass market, medyo magaan. Yun.
Thank you,
Last
Sir Melvin.
one. Ito, actually, yung 2G11. Hindi alam ni Ma'am Jo ito. This one. Kita ba? Nakita niyo yung 4 na pin. Pag mga vlogger, parang gumaganon pa, di ba? Mga ganon. Hindi ko alam eh. Hindi kasi ako vlogger. Ba?
Sir, you're doing it very well. Don't worry.
Tama ba?
Sure.
Ay, nako, magtatayo na nga ako ng channel ko. Okay. Yan yung 2G11. Before sa ibang brand, tawag dyan yung PLL or PL na long. So yan. Actually, this one is a germicidal lamp pang UVC, yung namin. Yung sa
sensor.
bakit puti, di ba? Kasi
Kasi
wala akong mahanap na yung fluorescent. So, matagal na akong hindi nakakakita noon. This one is yung sa namin, germicidal na light na So 36 watts. Same din sa fluorescent, ganito kahaba, 36 watts. Very observant. Oh, di ba? Galing ah.
Sir, bago tayo mag-move on, last question na lang po regarding the bulbs. What's the difference between an HID and a halogen?
Okay. Yung HID, wait Magutin ko muna. Ito. Ito yung R7S, double-ended. Ang composition nito sa loob, halogen yan. Yan yung, ano ba? Halogen. Yung HID, hindi na kasi kami nagbebenta ng mga, galing nga doon sa high intensity discharge lamp, na meron yung metal halide at meron yung HPS, high pressure sodium, and yung MV or mercury vapor. Usually, ito yung ginagamit sa street lights. So yung halogen, mostly sa mga ganito. Ewan ko yung iba pang technology saan nagamit yung halogen. I think before may mga E27 yata na halogen, pero hindi ko pa panahon yun. Medyo LED na kasi naabutan ko.
MR16.
Yeah. Yung before,
MR16.
yung old.
And
Ma'am,
even the peanut
yes,
bulbs
yes,
are
yes.
all called
Ito.
halogen.
Ito.
Oh,
Oo. Ma'am, kasi LED na kasi ma'am naabutan ko. Medyo ano na.
oo. Ako
Hindi,
naabutan ko yan. Alright.
Nag-halogen pa ako, sir.
Actually, you will easily differentiate the HID and the halogen, no? HID is high intensity discharge, no? Right?
unit de balas.
Yeah, and then it will heat up, right? Parang umiinit muna siya, tapos nag-on siya, right? So, tapos pagka in-off mo siya, in-on mo uli siya, hindi siya mag-on agad kasi mainit yung looban niya. It needs to slightly cool off a certain temperature bago siya mag-on. Pero don't worry, wag na kayo mag-aral ng HID tsaka halogen kasi wala na yung
We are no longer in that age.
For history na lang yon, documentation. Anyway, isang example, naalala niyo yung pag sa mga gym before, yun na ano ko, metal halide ng mga floodlights.
Yes,
It needs to heat up, may warm up time. 'Di ba pag namatay, usually 5 minutes, 8 minutes, may warm up time siya. So yun yung time na siguro yung mga lolo natin, mga metal halide ng mga floodlight. Kasi ngayon LED na talaga yung naabutan ko ng mga floodlights eh. So yun. To give a clear example, ano yung mga HID lamps. So may heat up siya. Then pag nag-restrike, restrike period, takes about 5-8 minutes, even more, bago siya mag-full blast. So, yun, yung pala naalala ko sa mga gym, sa mga old gyms before.
Tsaka sir, di ba yung mga signages, na mga halogen signages, yung mga lettering, parang...
Yes, in Hong Kong, that used to be the thing. Yes.
Actually, yung karamihan ng signage before is using HID. Right? HID, mas mataas.
Hindi ako makarelate kasi.
It shows our age ba? My age, by the way.
Siya na nagpa-practice ako. Bakit ganon?
And then, actually, one of the biggest problem with the HID, is they have different colors actually. All right. There was one time I was in the PAL Terminal 2. I looked up in the ceiling and they were using HID. And then you will see different brands have different color, right? Like Osram and Philips, no? Osram, I think, has greener color. And then Philips, I think it's more medyo reddish yata eh. Nakalimutan ko. So, hindi ganun kaganda yung mga HID talaga. And I think disposing it also is one problem, no? Sorry, hindi ko na ma-rewind ang aking knowledge about the HID, no? Kasi nung pumasok kami sa lighting, yung HID medyo pa-phase out na rin. So, I think we just had one batch of order for HID and then hindi na rin kami nag-continue kasi nag-focus na kami into initially the fluorescent or the energy-saving lamps and then yung mga LED na.
Okay.
All right. Okay, for the benefit of time, we'll collect all the questions and then probably throw it in at the end of Sir Melvin and Miss Jocelyn's talk. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Sige. Okay, pasadahan na natin to. Kalimutan na natin yung HID. Mag-move on na tayo. Okay, malapit-lapit na rin pala tayo. Okay, lastly, you have to also consider yung IP rating. Ano ba yung IP rating? Ingress protection. Ingress meaning in, di ba? And then may numbers, dalawang numbers ka makikita. So yung first number refers to yung ingress protection for solid objects. And then yung last number is yung ingress protection for water. Siguro I'll identify na lang yung ano yung mga like for usually rated as outdoor. IP44 usually rated yan for outdoor. 54, 65, yan yung mga common mano nyo. IP67, yung mga naka-Samsung dyan na mga naka-note or ano, papansin nyo, IP67 rated. Ano ibig sabihin? So, IP67, pwede nang mahulog ang phone mo sa 1 meter depth for 30 minutes, hindi siya papasukan. So, yun ang meaning nun. IP67. So, in terms of, since ito usually pang outdoor na to, yung mga bollards, so yan, usually kailangan mag-start yan 44, 54, 65, pataas. IP68, ito yung mga underwater na. IP68. So, pag sa mga swimming pool, of course, dapat IP68. Ganyan. Wala namang underwater na hindi IP68. So, how does it apply sa interior? Outdoor nga, di ba? 44, ganyan. Yung indoor, usually IP20, inaano nila. Okay. Sa bathroom, usually yung bathroom, dinidivide siya into zones. Yung zone 0, for example, ito yung mismo nandun sa bathtub. Even sa shower enclosure. Yung zone 1 is immediately after yung sa zone 0. Then zone 2, so may mga height and ano yan, parang area, something na within ganitong 600 mm, ganyan. Ito sa wall, ganito 600 mm. That is yung zone 2, ganyan. Sa mga, of course, sa zone 0, hindi ka maglalagay sa ilalim ng tubig, not unless yung bathtub mo, built-in na yun eh. May mga ilaw-ilaw dyan sa ilalim, habang nagbabubbles yung ano mo, jacuzzi mo, ay yung mga ganon, kailangan mga 67, 68 pataas. Pero for zone 1 and zone 2, ito normally ginagamit nyo, IP44 dapat minimum. Yung near, yung kung saan yung source ng splash ng water. Meron yata ditong sample ko. Handali magandang ano. Teka. Anyway, sisend ko na lang yung brochure sa inyo. IP44? Sa Legend yata. Anyway, so outside of zone 3, sorry. Outside of zone 2, which is zone 3, you can use yung ano. Basta malayo na siya ng 600 mm dun sa, ayan, that's one. 54 out of 54. This is glass.
Open it so that they can see. Right. You will see a rubber in it.
Gasketed siya. Usually mga 44, 54, 65, may gasket lining na yon. So gasketed siya. Kaya pag inano nyo, ginamit nyo, yan. Sealed siya, hindi papasukan ng splash. Screw. Stainless. I'm getting a hang of itong mga paganito-ganito . So yun, I think for interior, mas ano yun sa bathroom. Yung mga outside na 44, 54, 65, usually sa mga bollards yun. Iwan na natin sa mga landscape architects yun para kanya-kanya tayong trabaho, di ba? Okay, I think, okay. What is a lighting fixture? Dami natin discussion about lamps, bulbs. ito naririnig nyo to. A light fixture, so US English yun. Pag light fixture gamit, US yun. Light fitting, pag British ka, UK. Di ba? Or generally, luminaire. Dito sa atin, lighting fixture. Not unless you're British. Di ba? Ano yung British? Di ko alam eh. Bloody hell. All lighting fixtures have a fixture body or housing and one or more lamps. So the lamps may be in sockets. So yung naka E27 ba siya, naka GU10 for easy replacement in case of some LED fixtures, hardwired or built-in nga. So it's either COB or ito nakita niyo dito parang binuksan ito, may surface mounted diode, parang strip lights, surface mounted. So yun ang lighting fixture. Pag sinabing light, ano lighting fixture mo? Kasama na doon yung source ng light, whether it is yung replaceable or built-in. So yun yung lighting fixture or luminaire. Kung medyo pa social, luminaire. Okay, last. Patapos na tayo. Ako pala. Consideration for indoor lighting fixtures. Light distribution types, installation method, yung function ng light. Okay, pasadaan na lang natin to. Okay. So, meron tayong 6. Direct, semi-direct, direct, indirect, semi-indirect, indirect, general diffuse. Parang feeling ko nasa ako, shooting. Direct! Okay, direct is yung majority, 90 or 100% directed downwards. Sa mga recess nyo yan. Semi-direct, so 60% to 90. Pababa, then may konting spill pataas, binabounce sa ceiling. Actually, mga pendant lights, may mga ganun sa mga linear. Then yung direct, indirect, it's 50-50 lang. May pataas, may pababa. May mga wall lights din ganyan. May pataas ganun, may pababa. Semi-indirect, so balik na rin naman natin. So yung 60 to 90 pataas, yung less than 60, 40, pababa. So mas binounce mo pataas. Then yung indirect, majority 90% pataas, upward. So minsan may mga iba sa mga pillars, pataas iniilawan nila coming from below. Or lastly, general diffuse. So ito equally distributed dun sa usually mga bolang something pendant or something ganon. Or mga tubular. May mga nakita kong tubular na mga pendants eh. And then for consideration din, paano yung installation methods niya? Dalawa lang naman yan. Yung freestanding, which is portable, you can bring it anywhere, or fixed. So you have to consider. Doon sa freestanding, meaning portable, ito, common na to, table lamps, floor lamps, sumulipat doon. Doon sa fixed, you have one yung recess, by the term itself, naka-built-in dun sa ceiling as illustrated, or surface mounted. The house, so parang wala kang bubutasin, i-screwin mo lang siya. So yun yung tinatawag na surface mounted. Kaya minsan pa nag-specify kayo, sabihin nyo, I want it recessed or I want it surface mounted. Ganyan. So ganun. If you want a clean look, recess. Another fixed installation is yung pendant lights. Ito, common na siya. Pendant light, chandelier, suspended lights. It's all the same. Sconces. I use this term kasi minsan baka ma-encounter nyo to. Sconces, ito yung the light is usually, but not always, directed upwards and outwards rather than down. The sconce is a very old form of fixture. Historically, used with candles and oil lamps. Yung may mga nakalagay dito sa mga walls, ganyan, or sa mga pillars, or sa mga pintuan. Tapos dito meron kang design na wall lamps. Ngayon, wall lamps na lang tawag dyan. So, yun yung sconces. Usually decorative nung traditional time. Commonly used in hallways and corridors. This one, it's from our brand na Faro, Barcelona. Ovo yung model. This one we use sa Citadines Hotel dito sa may Makapagal. Okay, another one is yung track lighting. So, ito, familiar na kayo. So, there's a track, then you can adjust it, yung track lights doon sa track bar. Under cabinet lighting, ito fixed din. So, meron yung, wait, sample ako. Ay, sorry, natanggal. GX53 itong nakalagay dito. Similar, di ba? Surface mounted yun. Under cabinet lighting. Or pwede naman, you can use yung strips na either exposed or naka-channel. Aluminum profiles or channel. Meron si LANDLITE niyan. Pamain na lang. Okay, ano pa? High bay and low bay lighting. Basically, ang difference lang niya, yung low bay is nasa around 12 and 20 feet. Between that, above 20 feet, it's high bay. And then since lower yung mounting ng low bay lighting, the beam angle should be mas malapad. So yun yung low bay. Nung panahon before, sa mga HID, may mga ganyan. Pero now, with the technology ng LED, incorporating yung mga lens, there's no more low bay, high bay sa LED. So, depende na lang yun doon sa pagkaka-design nung high bay sa lens niya, sa mga chips na nandun, may mga symmetric ba, asymmetric, ganyan. Without lens. So, usually, tawag ngayon, UFO. Flat siya kasi kala mo UFO. Then, yung iba naman, gusto pala yung traditional look, may glass. Then yung LED. Lastly, yung emergency and exit lighting. Ito, kala natin, usually disregard na, pero importante ito, actually sa building code, which is ang inaano ng building code to follow yung PEC, Philippine Electrical Code. There are certain mandated by law. Hindi ko sabi to, sabi ng batas ito. Kaso nga lang, sa Pilipinas, hindi yung enforcement, kulang tayo. So, emergency and exit lighting. Mas malalim to. It's a different topic. So, by light function, tatlo lang yan. Ambient or general lighting, task lighting, accent lighting, decorative lighting, information guidance lighting. So simple na yan, general lighting usually parang ito sa natin, office you use mga ceiling mounted panel lights, yung dating tinatawag yung mga trofer, louver, yung sabi ng mga yun una sa akin . Then you can also achieve this pendant lights, chandelier, downlights, task lighting. By the name itself, it's aimed to provide more light on a specific area to perform a task that requires more light than the ambient fixtures can give. Commonly used fixtures are pendant lights, sa mga dining table ninyo, track lights to spotlight the mga whatever wall or mga merchandise mo. Under cabinet lights, of course. Ano ka doon, may mga food preparation ka. Floor table lamps, pag nagbabasa ka. Reading lights, mga bedside lamps. So, yun yung mga common fixtures for task lighting. Accent lighting, by the name itself, to add drama, to draw attention sa isang painting, sculpture. Usually, 3 times as much light on the focal point as the ambient light. So, pwede by the use of track light again, downlight, nakita niyo itong bookcase, may mini downlights or niche light. Picture light, again. So, yan. May picture light ka. This one yung sa Savia. And then, wall lights. Sometimes you want to highlight the texture ng surface. So, this one, itong architect na to, napapakilala mamaya ni Miss Jo, ni Ma'am Jo. Project niya to. Decorative lighting, by the name itself, is to draw attention to themselves and add character to the area being lighted. Common lighting fixtures, pendant lights, chandeliers, sconces, floor table lamps. Itong table lamp na to, may wireless charging yan. So it attracts attention to itself. Itong wall light na to, it serves also as a coat hanger. Pwede mo iwan yung ano mo, sombrero or coat. Meron si LANDLITE niyan. Lastly, information or guidance lighting. Designed to light way safely. Create dramatic statement on pathways. Usually mga pathway lighting. Kaya nga, information guidance lighting. So, use strip lights. Usually sa mga theater. Kita nyo may mga sa baba. Step lights. This one, ginamit strips to guide yung steps mo. Floor lights or in-ground lights. Usually parang naka-hilera sa in-ground dyan para to focus yung saan yung path. Whether indoor or outdoor yon. And of course, lastly, yung emergency light and exit sign. Because it provides direction. Okay, last 2 slides. Marami kasing tanong dun sa Q&A. It's about ano yung proper light spacing, well-lit light. So, simple lang yan. I will use yung IES recommended. Take note, sinabi ng IES recommended. Even them, hindi nag-aano na, ito yung sundin mong batas. Unlike sa electrical. So, it's a recommended light level. Usually, ang kino-consider dito, ano ba yung task or activity in a room? So, for example, yung mga simple tasks, like in mga public spaces where marami yung tao, you need around 30 lux. Kanina, sabi ko kasi, di ba, put candle to lux, 10 point something, 10.76. So, roughly around 30 lux. Matandaan nyo ba yun? Put candle to lux. Simple orientation or for short pieces. Hindi masyado nag-stay yung tao. Around 50 lux. Working spaces for simple visual tasks. Ito kailangan mas mataas na. 1,000 lux. Common visual tasks. Visual performance is important for this. So, pag ang kailangan mo ay yung task ay may high contrast, malalaking yung item, around 300. High contrast or small naman yung item, dagdagan mo konti, 500 lux. Ang office is around 300 to 500 lux ang recommended. For those na low contrast pero large size, 500 lux. Task with bababa ang contrast, malilit pa yung item. Sa mga factory yata to, mga nag-knitting yata. Usually mga ganon. 1,000 lux. Ganyan. Okay. Tip ko sa inyo, ito. Bibigay ko na ang sikreto ko. Okay. There is an app, actually sa website, pero meron ding app sa Android. Hanapin ninyo. Ito yung logo, IES. Nakita niyo yung mga table na yan. Yan ang sasagot sa mga tanong ninyo. Definition. All about lighting. Sila kasi authority dyan yung IES. Nandun, meron doon illuminance table. Nandun yung sa mga common area, exteriors, pang-industrial, pang-office, parking, residential. Bawat isa doon, click nyo. Sobrang lalim nun yung sa residential. meron pang may bathroom, living room, bedroom. Ang daming super lalim nung ano niya. All other sa iba naman, ililid ka niya. Yung some others, ililid ka sa link. Pero yun sa paying na. So, download nyo yan. Matututo kayo, maniwala kayo sa akin. Then meron doon isa, yung function doon, yung calculator. Laruin nyo yan. Input nyo yung total lumens. Coefficient of utilization, malalim yan. Total light loss factors, or 80%, 90%. Length, width ng room. Desired illuminance. Ano yung lumens per lamp? And then, kukumpute niya lamps per luminaire. Ito, IES calculator to. So, download nyo yan. Paglaruan nyo, matututo kayo. So, most ng questions sa Q&A, yun. So, I will lead you now kay Ma'am Jo. I think you will introduce Ma'am Hana ba?
Yes, sir. Miss Reg.
All right. Okay. So to introduce our next speaker has over 22 years of experience in the lighting industry. She has led LANDLITE Philippines Corporation for 19 years and received international recognitions from Frankfurt, Germany, London, England, and Vienna, Austria, respectively. She is a member of the board of director at the Philippine Lighting Industry Association, a treasurer, Philippine Lighting Industry Association, a director at the Chinese Filipino Business Club Incorporated, or CFBCI, and a chairman of CFBCI Young Entrepreneurs Committee. We are very much humbled and very much honored to be joined by none other than the CEO of LANDLITE Corporation Philippines, Ms. Jocelyn C. Hello, Miss. Hello, Ms. Jo.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for your introduction, Regina. And it's a great opportunity for us to be able to share our knowledge to the students of St. Benilde. Okay. So today I'm tasked to share with you ano yung mga latest trends sa lighting. Now, I'll be showing you a product of one of our partner brand, which is Faro Barcelona. Okay. Now, as mentioned earlier, in LANDLITE Philippines, we have some, aside from LANDLITE, we have other brands that we carry. Okay, Faro is one of the major partners that we got because, as you all know, Barcelona is parang trendsetter in terms of kahit sa damit. Like the brand Zara comes from Barcelona. So Faro is a trendsetter also in lighting sa Barcelona. Okay, let me show you the slides of their new product called Neso, right? Right. Neso is a magnetic track light system. All right. Later on, I'll show you kung ano yung, I'll give an idea kung ano yung difference niyan sa regular track lights, no? Right? Through this next video. Okay. Gumagana ba for a while? Nakamute ka, Hana? I can't.
Sorry. I think you have to change your window to the YouTube link.
Oh.
Yes. Because it went out. It redirected.
Okay. For a while.
Yes.
Let me see.
You can stop sharing and then share the screen again when you're in the YouTube video.
Oh, I'm sorry. Medyo
Joyce, is that yung video nung ano, yung parang yung standard
Faro.
video ni Neso?
Neso, yeah.
I have a copy of that.
Check mo if you can share with it.
Share screen, yes.
Share mo na lang.
Okay. Wait. Punta lang ako sa browser.
I found it na.
Pakita mo na, Ma'am Jo. Okay.
I found na how to share the screen. Right?
Okay.
Naka-share na yung screen, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let me share my screen earlier.
Let's try to learn some nice tips about how to illuminate a background,
I'm sorry.
which is this week subject at Faro. Okay, as we told you, each
Okay, apologies about it. So, Faro, no, for the track, no, you can choose if you're gonna use it as surface, recess, or suspended. Okay, so makikita mo rito yung itsura ng tatlong klase, right? And then there are accessories needed, no, to assemble this one. Later on, I'll show it to you. Okay. The magnetic fixing. Actually, the NESO allows the integration of lighting in any type of architecture. Okay? The luminaires are attached to the rails by means of magnets. Right? So nakita nyo kanina dun sa video, sinushoot niya lang yan. The magnet clicks itself to the rails and then nagta-turn, pwede nang mag-on yun. Right? And by the way, it's safe, hindi kayo makakuryente. Okay, so this type of fixtures makes it very easy to change the positions of the fixtures. All right, so usually you will find it on mga showroom showcases, you know. So minsan they change like the mannequins or maybe displays in the store. So they can change the lightings into either flooded, spots, or accent. Right. So and then. These are the fixtures, no, that you can use for the track. It's a NESO point or the para siyang downlight na spotlight, no. So it's a fixed accent luminaire with two degrees. Dalawang klase yung I think it's a 15 and 24 degrees. Okay, so and then there are 3 sizes available, okay? Different wattage available also. Now, on the right side is called the NESO line, okay? It is used as a general lighting, diffused yung ilaw. If you compare the upper portion of the point and the line, you'll see ano yung sinasabi kong diffuse and lumalabas yung liwanag, right? For example, saan mo ginagamit yung mga yan? Okay. For example, in a reception area. Okay. So you would prefer to use a point para diretso siyang nakatutok dun sa lamesa, yung lamesa ng reception. And then for etong mga line naman sa general lighting, you would consider using it sa mga kitchen. Alright. Meron ng, later on, I'll try to share, if I can share. Nakalimutan kong i-input dito sa slide eh. There's a kitchen that use this magnetic track. No? So, ginawa niyang general lighting niya yung line. Okay? And then, meron siyang ginamit ng mga spotlights. And then, may ginamit din siyang mga pendants. Okay. The next fixtures are the top or the pendant nila. And then the unique. Okay. So, the top is a accent suspension lamp. Or parang pendant, meron kang talagang ifo-focus na isang bagay, right? And then yung unique, it's more of a parang decorative na general lighting. Right? And then next would be they call it the Nessa hole. Meron siyang 2 wattage also with the 2 different beam angles, right? So you can imagine nakakita na kayo ng mga let's say sa Rustans, yung mga showroom nila, yung mga showcase window, right? So these are samples of the places that you can use this one. Or reception area, as I've mentioned. Ayaw mong cluttered yung lines or position ng mga ilaw. You can just use isang rail na ganyan, and then you can put the general lighting in it, or the earlier yung nasabi kong direct downlight na lighting niya, and then you can use this spot to spot the signage sa likod ng reception area. So it's up to you kung paano mo gagamitin yung fixtures na to. So these are the diagram of the rails, no. Medyo pag tinignan mo, you will see that there are accessories like the inner L shape or T shape. Don't worry, pag may mga projects kayo or you want to understand how to assemble this, no, we will help you out on this. So yan muna, yan, I just like to show this product to you. Yan yung pinakabagong product ng Faro. And then the rest is mostly, Faro has those yung mga hotel lighting, bedside lamp, okay. Okay. And then, sige, let's proceed. Later on, kung may question kayo about that product, no, just message us na lang siguro sa chat, or kung kulang tayo ng time, you can send us through, you can send an email to us na lang siguro. And then, I was requested also to present a sample project, no. I chose 2 projects, no, to present, right. One is using a specialty lighting. One of the brand that we carry, it's called Uozu of Italy, right? Now, it's an Italian brand, but I have to tell you, it's made in China. But an Italian brand commissioned a China company to manufacture all the lightings for them. So we have a lot of project in China and Italy for this brand already. Now, the other one that, by the way, the first project I will present to you is the project that we did in East Ocean Palace. It's a Chinese restaurant for a reception place for weddings or birthdays or other special occasion. No? And then the next one is the Henan group of companies. All right, Henan is very famous for their resorts in Boracay and Bohol. Henan has been purchasing from us for more than 10 years now, right? So I'll show you the products that they use, both place, no? And later on, let's talk about comparison of this, yung ginagamit nila doon for a while. have an error in here. Hang on na, I'm so sorry. I don't know why hindi lumalabas yung... Yeah, right. So one of our, I can say, nice project, no, is East Ocean Palace. It was built in 2019 and it operated for about a year and then the pandemic started. Sayang, ang dami naming gagandang mga installation dyan. East Ocean Palace commissioned a lighting designer, okay, to do this project, Mr. Gilbert Ong. He's a good friend of mine. He studied in Parsons University for the lighting consultancy course. And then let's proceed with the project. All right, for those who are not familiar with East Ocean, it's a Chinese restaurant mostly for wedding and special occasion venue. So now I chose I think 4 areas to discuss with you guys, no? Yung 4 areas na to is medyo yung mga critical areas nila para you can understand how did the lighting consultant, no, came up with the wattage and the degree beam angle, right? So this is the grand stairway of East Ocean, right? I'll be pertaining to the upper portion nito, no? Ito, yung ceiling, right? This is very challenging kasi may stairway kang paakyat, right? May stairway na paakyat. So the lighting should be very even. Hindi ka pwedeng malakas dito, maliwanag dito sa baba, and then paglakad mo pataas doon sa may papuntang 2nd floor, the lighting is already super lakas. Alright, so below this, you'll see that he used 2 types of lightings in here. We call it Alba Dot 86. Melvin, pwede mong pakita yung itsura, yung okay, this is the Alba Dot. You will see that papasok yung ilaw, no? By the way, this is built-in, buo yan, alright? So you will see, papasok yung ilaw. The purpose of that is, of course, glareless, alright? Hindi siya nakaka-glare, alright? Actually, pag tinignan nyo yung, if you have opportunity, go and visit East Ocean. Ang ganda ng pagkagawa ng lighting dito, right? You will, and then for the East Ocean, we have everything specially made kasi gold yung niya, yung motif and white. So the fixtures, we had the inner, yung black portion, some of them in gold also, and also the trimmings para hindi mo masyadong makita yung fixture itself, right? So you will find that Gilbert used 2 wattage for this one. One is the 13 watts, 24 degrees, and one is the 15 watts, 15 degrees. Okay. Now, nakikita nyo naman tong gumagalaw na arrow na na parang arrow ko, no? Right. So, na ano ba to? Ano ba yung kamay? Okay. Now, the 15 degrees na 15 watts, Gilbert used it in this portion. Alright? Itong portion na to. Alright? Why? Kasi bakit 15 watts na 15 degrees? As you all know, in-explain kanina ni Melvin, habang pababa ng pababa, lumalaki ang bilog niya ng space or yung posisyon ng ilaw na tatamaan. Right? So, he used 15 degrees and for this one. And then, yung sa 13 watts, he positioned it in this area. Right? Sa malapit dito sa may hagdan. Papunta na sa half ng hagdanan. Sorry putol yung picture ko. Wala na akong makitang ano eh. Tuloy-tuloy. Okay. Now, why did he use 13 watts? Number one, kailangan niya, kasi pataas na. So, kailangan niyang may transition. Alright? May transition ng ilaw. So, kailangan niya mas lighter ang liwanag. Bakit 24 degrees? Because mas maikli yung area. So, the circle na create ng 24 degrees is bigger. Okay? So, yan yung ginamit niya for the grand staircase, right? Now, going to the next one here. Okay, this is the grand lobby, right? Now, you will see in the grand lobby, no? You will see in the grand lobby, etong portion, etong portion na to, I'm pertaining to this portion, right? Wala na kasing ibang masyadong position dyan na ceiling. It's a stairway na kasi. So, this portion, what he used is a 15 watts, 15 degrees. Alright? Magtataka kayo, bakit yung mataas ginamit niya 15? Ito 15 din. Alright? Now, the explanation for that is because you are near the window. Okay? Or yung sa may pinto. There is natural light in the morning. Okay, so you have to have a stronger light that is tumatama sa floor mo. So that pagtingin sa labas at sa loob, hindi madilim yung loob. Okay? And then, bakit 15 degrees? Diba? Why 15 degrees? He needs the light to be in this area, sa baba. Hindi dito sa area na to. Why? You see this rectangular thing here? It's a TV. Okay? Hindi niya pwedeng masyadong malaking beam angle dahil yung ilaw hindi niya kailangan dito sa area na to. Kailangan niya nasa ilaw, nasa sahig, and then it bounce up a little. Right? So, they have to consider, as a lighting consultant, he has to consider a lot of these factors, no? And then, by the way, he also has to consider yung liwanag na binibigay ng chandelier. Right? May mga computations silang ginagawa through the dial-ups. Right? Now, next location is the pre-function area. All right? The pre-function area, no? They wanted to create an atmosphere of it should not be too bright. Medyo lang siya, medyo regular ang kanyang pagkaliwanag for that area. Why? They wanted to emphasize also yung mga designs sa wall. Right? Itong design sa wall, by the way, the designs in the wall initially were not supposed to have lightings. Diba? But with the lightings, diba, maganda, gumanda, lalong na-emphasize yung design sa wall. Diba? So, what did they use for this area? They used the Apollo 84 and the Alba 84. Now, what's the difference between the Alba and the Apollo? Melvin, pakinalang. Ipakita mo lang yung harap niya. Alba is our direct. Melvin, hindi yata. Yan ba yun? The other one yata. Melvin, it's already in your table. I placed it in your table. Yan. Yan ang Alba. Alright? These are straight direction na downlights. Alright? And then, there is the Apollo. Melvin, yung Apollo, pakita mo na lang. What is the Apollo for? It has a very special, Melvin Mercurio yan, iba yan. Apollo is the wall washer. Yes. Look, pakita mo. Do you guys see the parang small piece of silver color on the side? All right. What's the purpose of that? All right. The purpose of that, yung Apollo na yan, he positioned it in this area on the side. All right. On the side. What? Bakit kailangan ng wall washer? All right. The wall washer tends to give a linear wash. Hindi siya yung paganon na itsura. Okay? So, the wall washer gives a linear wash. Lalo na, the wall washer is very good, particularly for pictures, portraits. Alright? Magandang i-position ang wall washer exactly doon sa painting. Alright? So, these are what we call wall washers. Alright? And then, yung alba na ginamit niya or the recessed round down light, he used a 13 watts, 15 degrees. Right? Kasi as I've said, medyo hindi nila pinamasyado maliwanag yan kasi may mga chandelier yan sa taas. So they're emphasizing the elegance of the chandelier. And then, saan niya ginamit yung alba na 10 watts? Why just 10 watts? Dito niya ginamit sa may pinto. You see the small dots in here on the door? He used 10 watts kasi mas mababa na siya. Alright? Unlike the 10 watts that he used in, 10 watts ginamit niya dito, unlike the 13 watts that he used in the upper portion of the ceiling. Right? So, okay, next. This is the ballroom, the grand ballroom. Alright? Actually, to mention lang, we made a very beautiful control system in the ballroom. Alright? Because the ballroom can be divided into, I think, 5 rooms, 4 or 5 rooms. So, it's ballroom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, parang ganon. So, for the lightings, no, we had some control system for that. And then, yan, nakikita ni Melvin, it's what we called Mercurio. Okay? It's an adjustable round down light. Okay? Iba siya sa alba. Alba, Melvin, hindi mo matitilt ha. You need a special tool for it to tilt it. And then the alba is a recessed, yung ano lang, directional recessed downlights. All right. Let me explain to you saan niya ginamit yung mga yan. The Mercurio, you used it in an inner downlight. Do you see this chandelier? The gold portion. Did you see the gold portion? There are may ilaw dyan. He used the Mercurio there. Why? Tilted yan ha. Natitilt yan natitilt yan. I think, Melvin, may nakasulat yan until 20 degrees ba yan? Or what yata? Dun sa fixtures itself. Alright? 20, yeah. So, why did he use a Mercurio in here? The chandeliers in here, okay, the lightings will not reach the floor. Hindi ganun kaliwanag pag bumato siya sa sahig. What he needs to do is to tilt the light going inside. Okay? Going inside. That's why he needs a tiltable downlight. Right? Now, moving here, this line, the white ones, for the white ones, he used the alba, 28 watts. Right? It's the directional, diretsong downlight. Right? It's 24 degrees. Right? So, including this area, lahat ng mga puti na nakikita niyong area doon sa square shape na yan, lahat yan naka 28 watts siya. Now, where did he use the 15 watts? He used it here on the side. Okay? On the side. By the way, you will, of all the places, no, lahat ginamit niya is 3,000K except for the ballroom. 2,700K ang ginamit niya sa ballroom. Okay? To make it more elegant and warmer. So, these are the fixture that he used for the ballroom. Okay. Now, the last product that I'll share with you that he used for East Ocean is the strip lights, right? He used one of our powerful strip lights. It's 120 pieces na LED, right? It's 14.4 watts per meter, right? So, mostly sa commercial, ito ang ginagamit. Commercial spaces natin, ito ang ginagamit. Right? So, itong nakikita nyong design dito, can you imagine, unang-una walang ilaw yan. Okay? Unang-una walang ilaw yan. Right? Nang nilagyan natin ng ilaw kung gaano kaganda yan. Actually, it's one of the Instagrammable area nila. Right? So, you will see all the ceiling nila, yung mga yan, pati sa loob, these are all using the same strip lights. Right? Now, so these are all the products that they use for the East Ocean. Majority, they still have other products they use for the kitchen, for the toilet, or for the smaller rooms, no? But hindi ko na i-feature kasi itong mga to ang mas I want to emphasize kung ano yung mga ginagamit niya. Now, next will be, as I mentioned, our client, Henan Resorts, right? We're presenting this Alona Beach nila in Bohol. Okay. This is the last place I traveled to before the pandemic, right? So, looking at the pictures of here, this resort, naiinggit ako, gusto ko uling pumunta. Okay. Now, ito yung mga ginagamit nila, Henan. For the bedrooms, right, they use this TLH 1295 white, right? So, you will see, he's also using a black, ang tawag dito, there's a black space up there that makes the light non-glaring. Right? Yan, hawak ni Melvin yan. Okay, so para hindi masilawan yung mga tao, most of the time you have to use that kind. They call it baffle. Okay, have to use those kind of baffle. Now, they use 5 watts for the rooms, no? So, almost lahat ng hotel rooms ni Henan, itong ginagamit niya. Ang choices niya lang sometimes would be round or square. Now, for the common areas naman, the restaurants, they use the same baffle type but bilog. Okay, bilog siya. For this one, they had an option of 5 watts and yan hawak ni Melvin, bilog na baffle type. Right? So, they have an option of using the 5 watts and also 7 watts. Pag mas mataas yung pwesto, they use the 7 watts. Pag mas mababa, they use the 5 watts. Alright. So, the next one is, okay, strip lights. Strip lights, you will see they use 2 kinds of strip lights in Henan. For the rooms, they would use the 60 LED. Mas mahina siya doon sa earlier na pinakita ko sa inyo. This, yung pinakita ko kanina sa inyo, nandito rin, it's the 120 LED. Alright. Saan nila pinesto yung mga strip lights? Here, at the back of the bed. Dito nila nilalagay. Yan ang medyo uso ngayon sa hotel. They put the strips dyan sa likod. Alright? Hindi na sa taas. Alright? Ginalalagay nila dyan na sa likod. Now, for the restaurants naman, they use the higher wattage which yung sa room, they use the 7.2 watts per meter, whereas sa restaurant, they use the 14.4 watts per meter. Saan mo makikita yung strips? Ito, sa baba dito, and also in the upper portion here, ito yung nag-illuminate sa mga plato here. And where? Here. I'm not too sure anong tawag mo dito sa bato na to. Is it granite or special something stone? A lot of our clients, no, they would put LED sa likod niyan.
Usually, Miss, they use onyx. We use onyx for that because it's somehow translucent. Yes.
Onyx or alabaster.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, thank you. A lot of our clients are using those sa likod nila, pinalalagyan nila ng strip lights. So, let's proceed for yung mga outdoor nila, right? Yung sa may bar nila, because there is no ceiling, they had to use a surface type, right? So this is the one that they use, the SDLH0157-GU10 black, right? As the same, they have options of using 5 watts and 7 watts. By the way, tignan niyo yung fixture na yan. And I have to tell you, what are the materials that Henan chose for the seaside? They use the material of die-cast aluminum. Okay, they make sure that they use die-cast aluminum or plastic. Right? Those are the two choices to use. Of course, you can use stainless, pero sobrang mahal ng stainless. So the next option would be die-cast aluminum. Hindi siya nangangalawang, right? And then also some plastics. Ang problem mo naman sa plastics, pag naarawan, minsan lumulutong. Alright? So next, for the trees, yung sa mga puno nila, most of the time they use this 10 watts na floodlight. Yan, sa mga area na yan, makikita mo. They use those yan. Now, the 30 watts, saan nila ginagamit? Yung 30 watts, they used it facing downwards on areas that they need to illuminate yung lugar. Alright? Yung walkway, the area that they need to illuminate, they use the 30 watts. Right? Yan, hawak ni Melvin. Actually, our pad, I'll be very honest, it's more expensive than others, but it's very maganda or guapo, right? It looks very chic, right? Compared to others. Yung iba, they look very industrial, but etong sa atin, it's very elegant. Okay. So, thank you, Melvin. Next one is I'm not sure if nagde-design din ba kayo ng garden and exterior. You do, right? So, these are some of ito yung isang bollard na ginamit nila. Okay, you see the pathways there. Right? And then, for their pool, yung sa swimming pool, they used our warm white colored 3 watts. Yan. Right? So, for the pool, yung inner portion are die-cast aluminum. Sa labas niya is stainless steel. Alright? Please take note when you ask installer to install yung mga swimming pool lights na ganyan, huwag nilang bubuksan yung buong fixture until sa loob kasi may vacuum yan. Okay? The purpose of the vacuum is pag nakalubog yan sa tubig, there is a tendency for water to somehow penetrate slightly into glass, no? So kasi mainit yung loob. So yung vacuum will keep that away, right? Yung iba binubuksan nila. Though I have to tell you, we made sure kung gawin man ng client namin yan, hindi pa rin masisira yung produkto na yan. When you look at Melvin, can you focus our product direct in the screen? Okay, to the screen, right? So you will see yung product natin, yung itim na yan, those are silicone sealant. All right. So naka-totally seal yung item natin for underwater. Right? So there's no fear, hindi ka matatakot na pasukan ng tubig. But we refrain from opening the vacuum kasi the whole fixture kasi nga mag-blur siya. It will affect the light output. Right? So these are the products that we use for the two projects, no? Medyo may tatanong ako sa inyo dito. Alright? Out of the two projects, the East Ocean, why do you think East Ocean used professional lighting? And Henan Properties, no, they just use regular lighting. Okay, so can anybody give me a answer to that?
Student, would you like to participate? Baka may ibigay si Miss Jo.
Oh, yes.
Come on, students, you can unmute yourselves and show your faces para makita kayo ni Miss Jo. Anyone?
Perhaps
Shy
we can
ba? Hi. Wala.
Sige kayo, kami sasagot. Teachers niyo sasagot, sige.
Miss Hannah, maybe we can repeat the question.
Alright. So,
Alright.
you saw that there, nakita nyo may dalawang project akong present. Alright? Yung isa, we use professional lighting. Whereas the second one, we just use medyo a regular lighting. No? So, do you have an idea bakit yung isa needs to use professional lighting whereas Henan use just regular lighting?
Okay, so the question is, why did they
What's the reason?
why did the
What's-
other project choose to hire a professional designer to use professional lighting as compared to the resort project? Students, anyone?
I'm asking this so that you will know ano ang priorities ninyo when you design something. So
Correct,
you will
yes.
know if you really need professional help or no. Okay.
Yes,
Except
yes.
kung mayaman ang kliyente nyo. May kliyente na mayaman, they can afford, they want to hire extra lighting
Yes.
consultant.
We have a student here, Mark Ian Papa.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Hey po.
Hi, Mark.
Hello. I think siguro I thought of two factors. One is yung location and two is yung parang yung purpose ng lugar. To start with the purpose, yung sa tingin ko po kasi yung other one is more of kumbaga professional yung hinuhold na events doon. And dito is more like casual lang and parang leisure activities. And the other one is, yung isa po is indoor. So hindi even yung distribution ng natural lighting while the other one is outdoor. So hindi po masyadong kailangan ng kumbaga study sa pag-iilaw since outdoor siya. Ganun. Wala lang.
Thanks,
Very good,
Mark.
Mark. Very good. Very good. I'm checking kung natutulog kayo, gising kayo. Mark, thank you. Hindi, okay. As you can see, yung sa East Ocean, no? It's a very Instagrammable, picturable place, di ba? Diyan tayo lagi nagpipicture for mga wedding, naka-makeup tayo lahat dyan, di ba? Naka-makeup, naka-gown tayo, di ba? So, everything should look good. That's why you need a lighting consultant na mas alam na magko-compute siya. Pag pumunta ka sa pwesto na to, tama pa rin ba yung ilaw na bumabato sa akin? Di ba? And then, the CRI is very important to them. Diba? So, going to Henna naman, but hindi nila kailangan. Tama. Di ba? Pumunta tayo doon, magsiswimming talaga tayo. But do not forget, what's the best CRI provider? It's the sunlight. Diba? Nasa beach tayo, natural na magaganda tayo. Diba? So spaces like resorts, marami silang open spaces, diba? So maliwanag, direct sunlight. So you don't really need, in the morning, you don't really need the high CRI, diba? And by night time, pagod na yung mga tao, matutulog na yung mga yan. If not, they just go to the bar and get some drinks, diba? So that's why I wanted to show you ano yung difference between these two projects, right? So if you have further question on these two projects, no, you can email us or you can ask your teacher, no, to ask us. Now, aside from these two projects, I'd just like to show you, we do collaborations, no, with some architects and interior designer, okay? Like, I guess some of you knows architect James Howe, okay? Architect James Howe used to be the president of PIIT, right? And this is one of his just recent project, kakatapos lang. It's a Club Sirena Resort in Cebu, right? Now, the project is medyo native ang kanyang style, medyo parang marine, right? So he asked us to help him out kung ano yung mga possible fixtures na gagamitin. Right? Now, that's Architect James. Right? So you'll see for hotels like this one, no, it doesn't necessarily mean to say you need to use kapis or yung mga Filipiniana, all right? You can do a mixture, all right? For this one, he used, later on I'll show you, a Faro bedside lamp in here. And then these are the products that he used, all right? So going back to this one here, this one, you will see this is the Faro that he used to emphasize etong area na to. Right? He likes to play with lights din si James. So, and then he also used our pendant lights dito to make it more, alam mo yung sa fishing before ng mga bata tayo, para lumutang ang net, kinakabit nila sa, anong tawag nila dyan? Buyoy ba yun? Or something? I forgot what they call that.
Boya.
Boya. Oh, so it represents fishing for him. So we can do collaborations. You can tell us ano yung motive nyo and then we can suggest ano yung mga possible na pwede nyong gamitin ng mga products natin. So actually, we are, I can say sa Pilipinas kami ang LANDLITE Philippines ang pinaka-complete for lighting. We have thank you. The basic lightings and also we have designer, yung mga decorative lightings. If you have the opportunity, please do like us in FB and IG. You will see we have two websites and two kinds of FB and IG, no? One is for our regular products, which are the downlights, the track lights, all right, and some garden lights, all right. And then for the designer lightings, dito na papasok yung mga technical and decorative lightings. Right? So please do like our page, so that minsan pag may mga kailangan, you can have an idea of the new products that we have. Right? Sige. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jocelyn. We really learned a lot from you guys. Even for us who are already practicing interior designers, it's always a nice time to learn new things, right? So thank you again for your time and for sharing your expertise to us. Just a reminder for our students who have classes already, you may opt to leave the meeting room because we are recording this after all, but we will actually continue recording the session and go through the Q&A program. So again, for those students who need to leave for their classes, you are allowed to do so, and just request for, actually we'll upload it in our group. the complete compilation of this webinar. But before that, before you guys leave, can I ask everyone to turn on their cameras so we can take a class photo with our speakers? All right. Okay. Wow. Nice to see the faces of the kids. All right. Turn on our cameras for a class photo. Pwede daw po bang mag-snack, sabi ni Sir Marky. Pwede po. Okay. For a while, ha? All right. We'll take multiple screens because we're 65 at the moment. All right. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. One more. Last. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, everyone. Okay. Now, Miss Jocelyn and Sir Melvin, we know that we are already over time, but if you would allow us to go through the Q&A, okay lang po ba?
Yes, please.
Yes, okay. All right, so for
Kala
this
ko wala na
portion...
eh.
Actually, sir, kanina nga tinitiis lang namin magtanong eh. Kasi
tinipigil ko po si Miss Red. All right, so for the Q&A portion, Miss Kat and I will be facilitating, but we'll be taking turns in asking the questions. There are also some additional questions here in the chat, but if we won't be able to go through it, the students will email you in the said email address that you have provided. Okay, let's go through the Q&A. For the first question, actually, nasagot na to ni Sir Melvin, but I guess for the practicing interior designers who are in this room right now, you are free to answer this question. Is there a limited number of lighting per room? I'm guessing if this is for a residential project, is there a limited number of fixtures for a bedroom or a living room or a kitchen? Anyone wants to answer? Is free to do so.
Melvin?
Sagutin ko ba or yung practitioner?
Kayo po, you can answer din po because you are the expert for lighting.
Hindi. Okay, sagutin ko, no. Refer to IES recommended lighting. And,
Noted.
okay, there's no hard and fast rule. Actually, nandito nakaso. I can share later sa kay Ma'am Kat. The amount of lighting needed is determined by how will you use the room. Diba? Yung kanina. So depended dun sa type of activity that determines the amount of lighting needed. Simple.
Okay. All right. Anyone wants to add?
Let me clarify lang. Let me just clarify something. Kids, do not be confused by the abbreviation IES. You will encounter two IES abbreviation in lighting. One, yung sinabi ni Sir Melvin kanina, the IES is Illuminating Engineering Society, right? Okay. The next one IES na may encounter nyo is the product IES. It's the efficient lighting system of a product. Okay? Kasi baka ma-confuse kayo bakit dalawang same abbreviation ng ang IES. IES, no, refers or describes to the intensity of the light source sa isang sphere. Later on, pag in-explain ni Melvin about dialogues, no, when you do dialogues, you will need an IES file to be able to do the dialogues, right? So, baka ma-confuse kayo ano yung IES, ha? Medyo confusing yung term, yung dalawang kasi abbreviation, right? So, please proceed dun sa
Alright.
Alright.
Miss Kat?
Okay, for the second question, sir, so we actually combine cool and warm temperature lighting fixtures in household settings?
I'll take that, I'll answer that, no?
Okay,
Actually,
thank you.
before, no, wala tayong masyadong cool white, no? Wala tayong cool white na available in the market. So, a lot of the designers or even yung mga consumers, they would mix the daylight and warm white, no? But right now, since available na yung cool white, it's easier to use na. Nakamix silang dalawa. But, and yung another reply ko regarding the mixture, kasi I think your question was household setting, no? Does it mean
Yes.
iba-ibang lugar? Or just one place tas mix yung ilaw?
To add siguro Miss Doon, no, it will really depend on the function of every space. So if it's a
Okay.
living room,
Yes.
malawak the question of considering household. Eh. So pwede siya bedroom.
Correct, yeah.
Just to give you an idea, like sa bahay ko, no, we use for the living room and the kitchen, we use cool white. Okay, medyo puti kasi the yellow parang feeling mo aantukin ka eh. Okay. Tapos for the rooms, no, we use all warm white kasi gusto na naming matulog. So para relax yung atmosphere, so we use the warm white. So for ano kasi mga kids ko, like when yung my son, isang anak ko nilang nag-aaral, so he just used task lighting for studying, no? So kumbaga yung color temperature namin sa bahay mostly dalawa lang. Okay. So it's just warm white for the rooms, and for the other areas it's all cool white na.
To add siguro dun sa question, di ba meron na rin lighting ngayon na may combination na siya, like 3-color or I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
Pwede ba yun? Is it?
Actually,
Yes.
maraming nagtatanong. We don't have that product. Why?
3-in-1.
Yeah, yung 3-in-1.
Parang ring light lang yun.
Pindutin mo lang.
Actually, number one, may tendency masira yan. Right? And then, hindi sabay-sabay hindi pa nararamdaman ng mga tao ngayon, pero pag sira na yan, masakit na ulo mo dahil hindi na sila sabay-sabay, right?
Yes,
and number two, I had the problem with the sustainability on that. I'm a bit sustainable kasi when we sell our products, no, there are 2 chips inside, no. So and then so pag ginagamit mo yung daylight, hindi mo ginagamit yung warm white, diba? So sayang yung warm white na chips. Once nasira yan, lahat sira na yan. So because of sustainability purpose, hindi kami, feeling namin fad lang to eh. Okay, this is a fact that people likes to, pwede kong lagyan ng ganyan. Honestly, I don't wanna say anong brand na. Yung kaibigan ko, naglagay siya sa bahay. Nung huli, he changed it. Sabi ko niya, hindi ko rin nagagamit yan. Isang kulay lang naman hinahanap ko lagi. Sabi niya, sira na nga yung item na yan eh. Ganun. So, for people who'd like to explore on that, may mga ibang brand. Marami dyan. They can check it out. Maraming mga ganun. Kasi sa amin, we focus more on, kumbaga, yung ginagamit talaga. Okay. Yung more on the fixed color temperature na hinahanap.
Okay.
Kasi medyo connected lang dun yung question about sustainability. Kasi why are basically the direction of manufacturers ngayon ng is all built in? Bakit hindi na pwede yung bulb lang? And yung fixture is hiwalay.
Right. Okay, let me answer that. Actually, when you check out the built-in, no, majority of the built-in, no, are frosted. Frosted, no? Yung pipi. Pipi sila, no? Right? So, yung mga bulb kasi, pag nilagay mo yung bulb sa receptacle, maliit yung bibig ng receptacle, mahina ang bato pababa. Mahina ang bato pababa. Yung mga built-in, the chips are all flat. The chips are all flat. So they can make a bigger fixture. So pag bigger fixture, with the same wattage, mas malaki yung scope ng angle niya. That's why marami puro built-in for the purpose of mas malawak ang area na nako-cover ng built-in. Okay? Versus sa maliit kasi pag may opportunity, we will show it to you mismo sa box. Mas malaki ang sasakop ng area ng built-in kaysa sa yung deroscas. Right? Melvin, you wanna input anything on that?
No, ma'am.
I know it's very troublesome. Papalitan mo, 'di ba? Pero yan ang ginagamit lahat ngayon eh.
Pero Ms. Jo, iba pag but kapag nasira na yung fixture na yun, you'd have to change the whole thing.
Yan ang karamihan sa other brands, they don't have extra driver, right? Our brands, as I've said, we are looking into sustainability. When we phase out a certain product line, we make sure that we have a 5-year supply of the driver. So that pag bumibili ang mga client, they would look, sira na yung bulb, pwede pa kayong driver sira. They want to buy the driver. They can buy it in our Lazada store. Alright? So, yan. Katulad ng nilabas ni Melvin, no? So, meron tayong mga available drivers. Usually, please take note, usually the LED, tsaka tignan niyo yung connector namin. We made it very easy for people to connect. When we come up with the product, we look for solutions sa mga after sales, right? That's one of our priorities. After sales, pag nagka-problem yung client, ano yung solution dun sa problem? Right? So, just message us and ask saan may available na driver. We'll direct you kung saan store or maybe on our online store. As I've said, lahat halos ng aming fixture, no, na may driver, meron kaming available na driver na binibenta.
All right.
Okay, so I'll be, for the benefit of time, we'll be combining some questions na lang po na you can answer all in one. Okay. So a while ago were more basic questions, but this one has a bit of science. So actually 3 questions po to, pero bubuuhin ko na lang. Does lighting really have an effect on studying certain subjects? When is the best time to experiment with how the light affects a room? Is it during dawn, afternoon, or at night? And what are the do's and don'ts with regards to pairing the different temperatures of light?
Melvin, would you like to answer that?
Ano nga bang question yung number yung
That's number 4, number 7, and
okay.
number 8.
Okay. So I'll just so yung basic yung about kung daytime or nighttime.
Yes.
Okay. For daytime application, syempre, kanina, I think in the very first 2 slides na nabanggit ko, you have to consider yung natural lighting, yung effect niya dun sa room mo, whether that's the living room or even your bedroom, you have to consider that yung time of day, and then even kung saan yung nanggagaling yung sunlight. So yun, you have to consider that. Then do your light plan around that. Doon naman sa nighttime activity, you have to set yung anong type of activity ba yung ginagamit mo dun sa kwarto na yan. Kung di naman din bedroom yun, whether it's nighttime or yung morning, walang contribution ng natural light, do the lighting plan as if it's either daytime or nighttime. You can always do naman switching eh. So yun yung papasok doon, yung switching plan mo. So pwedeng yung every other, or pag multiple yung ilaw, you can put yung odd numbers in one line, and then yung even numbers in one line. So para sa switching mo, if you half yung kalahati lang, and then pag full, that's another switching. So yun. Meron pa ba ako hindi na-cover dun sa na yun?
Sir, yung number 4 is, does lighting really have an effect on studying certain subjects? Or I think overall, sir, maybe we can reword that na, does lighting improve the overall well-being of a person inside the space? Does it affect the productivity of a person inside the space? Yes.
I think that's a better form of the question. Kasi yung anong subject, ganyan. Wala naman bias yung lighting pag nag-ano ka kung math or English.
Ito, gagaling ka sa math.
Gusto ko yun.
Diba?
Best in math pagka warm white.
Correct. Walang ganun. As long as
LANDLITE, pag may ganun. Lalo.
So okay, so walang bias. Of course, syempre, like na mention ko about kanina sa color temp, the higher yung color temp mo, mas alert ka. Kaya nga sa call center 'di ba? Daylight ang inaano. And it's also tied up with the circadian rhythm ng katawan natin, yung natural natin. So biological kasi natural yun eh. So pag start ng day and yung end ng day, medyo medyo feeling sleepy ka. If you want to be more productive, they push mo through this artificial light na daylight. Kaya pagdating mo, like a call center, para kang, di ba? So ganun. Play with the color temp.
Yes, okay. Alright. Ms. Kat, continue ko na lang ba mag-combine?
Sige, ma'am.
Alright.
Yes.
So, another is, ito po, magbabust po tayo ng certain myths because apparently there are still people who believe in this. Are LED lights harmful to skin, or does it emit some sort of UV radiation? Yes.
No, actually, no, it's not harmful. No? But there are UV lights, okay? It's, okay. Buti na lang nagbenta kami ng UVC, kaya kitang sagutin dito, right? Because there's a wavelength, right, for all the lightings, the visible light and the non-visible lights, no? The visible lights are yung mga RGB, right? So there are non-visible lights, no? These are all measured through nanometer, right? So the visible lights, no? When you say like radiation, no, it starts from 400 nanometer going to 100, right? Like for example, the LEDs, no, they would fall on the upper portion, upper ng 400. So, hindi siya harmful, right? To give you an idea, UVC lights like for fluorescent lamps, no, 253.7 nanometer, right? UVC, nag-ano na yun, nagiging UVC na yun. Right? So, naging harmful na yun. 400 below, the sunlight, no? Nasa may siya nasa may 400 below eh. Okay? Yung UVA, UVB, UV, right? So, ang LED, but there are LEDs na minamanufacture nila into 222 nanometer, right? Which is for UVC, right? So the regular lights na UVC, it's all safe. Wag lang yung UVC na nasa 222 nanometer. Right? So kaya nga maraming lumabas na pekeng UVC, LED lang pala. Tapos sinasabi nila UVC. It's really hard, honestly, it's hard to differentiate the two. It's very hard kasi you cannot look into them. You cannot look into them. So LED, all the LEDs are harmless, right? Except for, as I've said, specially manufactured LEDs that are 222 nanometers. Okay. So, yun.
All right. Thanks, Ms. Jo. All right. What else? Ito po regarding your products po. No? About Neso lights, are there other colors of the tracks aside from black? And can these be mounted or recessed? Or can these be mounted recessed?
Can these be mounted recessed?
Yeah, the Neso lights.
Can it be mounted recessed?
Yes,
the
can
Neso,
it be?
the Neso has recess. It has recess, it has surface, tsaka meron ng hangin. Diba?
Okay.
Apologies, black lang ang color niya.
Yeah. I guess our co-faculty is looking for a white one, a white variant. Okay.
Black lang ang color eh.
Okay. All right. So for now po, black lang po ang available ni Neso. And then another one, Miss Jo and Sir Melvin. Would you recommend smart lighting systems via Alexa or Google for any fixtures? Kasi nandun na tayo sa age na yun eh. Yeah.
But you have to have certain components, no, in the lighting fixtures. Actually, Faro has those kind of features, but hindi pa namin bring in, right? Number one, because of the price, of course, yung presyo ang kalaban natin dyan, di ba? So there are, we can use it, and then. I don't know if we will be able to be finished with. We're coming with a system that can nasa yung plug mo ang nagko-connect, yung outlet mo ang nagko-connect doon sa phone mo. Okay? Sila ang nag-uusap, hindi yung ilaw ang nag-uusap sa phone mo. Right? Kasi like for Alexa, the system is either si Alexa through Wi-Fi is communicating to your lamp who has a component that pwede sila mag-usap, right? Yung we're coming up, yung outlet ang pwedeng kausapin. Okay, by the way, I don't know if you're familiar, aside from lighting, may mga switches na kami and outlets and extension cords, no? And we're coming up with intelligent switches and outlets already, all right? When I say intelligent outlets that are equipped with, I'm not too sure kung Bluetooth o Wi-Fi yun eh, na it can talk to your phone or it can talk to the Alexa system, all right? Sa Wi-Fi, mag-uusap sila. It's like, pag nagawa na namin yung outlet na can be controlled by Alexa, yung mga coffee maker, yung sinasaksak doon, pag umaga, magising ka, Alexa, turn on the coffee maker. Mag-on na rin yun. Right? So, currently, sa light, pag light itself, the lamp, Faro has. Meron si Faro. Pero hindi pa namin pinasok yung mga yon, di pa namin i-explore yon. Ang ina-explore namin ngayon is the outlet itself so that kahit anong isak-isak mo doon, pwede mong utusan. Pwede mong utusan. Well, pag gawa na namin yung buong system, we can do a presentation.
We're looking forward to that. Okay. This is, I guess, for both Sir Melvin and Miss Jo. This is regarding the bulbs that we were discussing a while ago. We were comparing the weight, right? So there was a question that the lighter the weight, the cheaper the bulbs. Will that also affect the efficiency of the light bulb?
No. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, what Melvin is pertaining to is the SMD chips, no? Right? The SMD chips, the circuit board inside, nakadikit na lahat ng mga components niya. Right? Nakadikit na ang components niya lahat. Right? This is the cheaper version. Right? So, yung isang sa glass kanina na ginamit niya, nakahiwalay yung mga components sa baba. Right? Nakahiwalay yung mga components sa baba. So, the ones with the circuit board, it's possible that they have a shorter life. Okay? It's possible, I'm sorry, they have a shorter life because maliliit lahat ng component. Yung isa, mas malalaki yung component niya. It will be, kumbaga, mabubuhay siya ng mas matagal. Mas hindi natutuyo yung mga ibang component. Okay. So, I don't know if clear sa inyo yon. Yung SMD kasi, nasa chip on board siya. So, lahat na doon, maliliit lang yung components niya. So,
Okay.
there are components inside that would dry up. Okay? Maliliit na mga parts nun would dry up. Once it dries up, masisira na yan. Pag dito, yung component niya, lalagyanan niya, mas malaki. Ibig sabihin, kunyari, tubig. Ito, mas konti yung tubig niya. Mas mabilis siyang mamamatay kasi uhaw na siya Etong isa, mas marami yung tubig niya. So, mas mabubuhay siyang mas matagal. It's more expensive because mas malalaki ang components niya to have it last longer.
Siguro if I may add dun sa ni Ma'am Jo. It's a function of yung heat dissipation. Siguro contrary to popular opinion, yung LED, yung where the side na iilaw or nag-glow, yes, walang heat yon. Pero yung sa likod nun, where all the circuitry is happening, like yung kung SMD man siya or COB, nandun na yung mga heat dissipation. Kaya nga sa ibang mga built-in, may mga parang heat sink So, sa SMD, sabi ni Ma'am Jo, mas malilit nga yon. So, for you to absorb yung ganong heat, lesser yung surface area to absorb the heat. So, pag more spread, like yung COB, since malalaki yung component doon sa likod nun, so the heat is dissipated more freely. So, mas matagal yung COB component as opposed to doon sa SMD na same yung nila, MR, COB, SMD. So, yun, it's a function of the heat dissipation.
Okay. Thank you. So, hindi ibig sabihing magaan, mas mura. Tama po ba? Hindi rin ibig sabihing mabigat, mas mahal. Right?
Yes.
It's all about reading more on the functions and the features of the bulb. Okay, so I think this is nice because most of the misconceptions about lighting design in interiors would be, simple lang yan, simpleng cool white, warm white, but actually even the kelvins matter, right? Because the coolness or the warmness depends on the kelvin of the bulb, and that is found in the box, most of the lighting that we can buy. So yun po. All right, so here, I guess most questions can be answered by your professors. These are questions related to how many lights ideally can be placed in a room, what's the best temperature of lighting that you can place in a certain environment. Those kind of questions, your teachers will be the one to answer that for you, as well as questions with regards to how poetry can be applied in lighting design. Okay, so kami na po ang bahala sa inyo dyan, sa side na yan. But I think this question, we want to close it with this one because it's very important. I'm sure after this talk, most of our students, some of them are interested enough to take lighting as a further study, because we have really few lighting experts here who are interior designers in the Philippines. So for Miss Jo and Sir Melvin, what are your tips or advice to students who are going to pursue lighting design in the future? What are the things that they should consider before they hop on the bus, or what are the things that they should look out for?
Sige, I'll answer first and then si Ma'am Jo doon. Doon sa mga students na gusto i-pursue yung mas advanced na pag-aaral sa lighting design, ang tip na mabibigay ko right now, kung where you are second year, third year, as long as nandiyan kayo sa school, learn the basic. Kasi doon pala sa basic medyo may gap na kasi. So once you learn the basic, yung concept dun sa lighting design, yun yung magiging springboard mo to learn more advanced things. And then, other than that, so syempre kailangan mo i-apply, no? And to further learn more before you pursue formal or non-formal on lighting design, I suggest you learn dialects. Kasi doon, yun talaga yung lighting calculation software. If you really want to go into the science ng lighting design,
Yeah,
talagang
there's a
serious
lot
ka.
of math involved. With the
Yes, hindi lang siya basta
yes.
what I believe 90% ng mga professional practice are just mga general rule of thumb. Bibihira, ang isa pa, mahal mag-hire ng lighting designer because inaral nila ito. There's a science to it. Hindi to parang widow lang. May math, may science dun sa pag-lighting design. So that's all. So, Ma'am Jo.
Okay. Actually, nasabi na ni Melvin yung important things. I feel nasabi niya na important matters. No? What I'll share with you, because we deal with a lot of lighting consultants. No? And honestly speaking, when we were starting, nahirapan kaming mag-penetrate into the lighting consultants. No? Why? Because there are some brands na nauna sa amin. So, kumbaga, they're very familiar with that brand. Ang tendency nila is they don't want to get another brand kasi mag-aaral uli sila. Right? Mag-aaral uli sila. So, ang napansin namin sa mga lighting consultant, they stick to one or two brands, right? One or two brands, that they can rely on, right? That they can rely on in terms of quality, performance, and honestly speaking, availability. Ang dami kasi dyan, i-specify ng Japanese brand na to, tapos pagbibili na, or i-specify ng European brand na to, pagbibili na, hindi mo rin mabili. Be practical when you specify something. Diba? Be practical when you specify something. Yan ang feeling kong important. Yung sinabi na ni Melvin, yung tips niya or suggestions niya pag mag-aaral kayo. Pero ang sa akin would be, pag nandyan na kayo, nag-aaral na kayo, or natapos na kayong mag-aaral, as I've said, stick to one or two brands para familiar ka doon sa lumination niya. Okay? Kahit nakapikit ka, nakananaginip ka, alam mo na ang calculation nun mostly. Right? But I'm happy to say that even ang hirap i-penetrate ng mga lighting consultants, we were able to penetrate them. Number one, because we're a very complete lighting solution company. So, kadalasan yung mga hinahanap nila dun sa mga kilala nilang brand, iilan items lang, kulang. Sa amin, lahat kompleto. So, si sales talk ko na kayo, prefer us. Prefer the brand LANDLITE kasi we're your total lighting solution, right? So, and honestly, we work with a lot of clients, very satisfied clients, no? For example, a Soler Hotel, right? They had a lighting consultant from Texas. I think it was Texas. It's a huge company. And then they had the local lighting consultant also to collaborate, all right, for the execution of the projects. Now, they got all the products from one supplier. Nag-bid kami, hindi namin nakuha. But sinupply sila after 1 or 2 years, mga 2 years, start na ang problem. Wala na yung suppliers. Okay, so it's always one factor to consider, right? Always yung after service. Anong nangyari? Kami ang nagsa-service ngayon. Pinapalitan niya lahat ng mga products niya dun sa loob ng LANDLITE, right? So, find a good lighting partner or a brand to work on with you. That's one important thing. Sabi ko nga kasi pag nag-drawing ka, pag nag-design ka, tapos bibili na, gagamitin na, wala. Diba? So, useless yung effort mo. So, yun lang ang tip ko sa inyo.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Miss Josie and Sir Melvin. Do we have follow-up questions or we wrap this up?
Certificate na lang, Han.
All right. Okay. Sige. All right. So, Ms. Josie and Sir Melvin, we will be emailing you a copy of this certificate that we will be presenting this afternoon. Let me share my screen. Sorry. Apologies. Okay. De La Salle College of St. Benilde School of Design and Arts Interior Design Program, Manila, Philippines, is honored to present the Certificate of Appreciation to Ms. Jocelyn Johannessy for generously sharing their expertise in light and space, a webinar focusing on the principles and applications of lighting in the practice of interior design. This webinar is organized by the DLS CSP Interior Design Program on the third online term of academic year 2020 to 2021, given this 18th of June 2021. Signed, Interior Designer Catherine Ann Correa, Chairperson, Ms. Christine Bennett, Associate Dean, and Architect Acela Domingo, Dean of the School of Design and Arts. And
Thank you.
Yes. Yet again, the De La Salle College of St. Benilde School of Design and Arts Interior Design Program, Manila, Philippines, is honored to present this Certificate of Appreciation to Mr. Melvin Austria for generously sharing their expertise in light and space, a webinar focusing on the principles and applications of lighting in the practice of interior design. The webinar is organized by the DLS CSB Interior Design Program, third online term of academic year 2020 to 2021, given this 18th of June 2021. Signed, Interior Designer Catherine Ann Correa, Program Chairperson, Ms. Christine Bennett, Associate Dean, and Architect Acela Domingo, Dean of the School of Design and Arts. Once again, we are very honored, humbled, and grateful to have all of you both of you here in our webinar. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
po.
much, sir.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
po.
much. Yes.
We learned
Before we end, Miss Reg, would you like to say anything?
What?
Okay. Akala ko you were gonna say something. Before we end, we want to have a somehow synthesis of the whole event. And to do that, we would like to invite interior designer Charlene Valiondo to synthesize our event today.
Sana. So, first of all, we'd like to thank Ms. Jocelyn C. and Sir Melvin for this very insightful and very informative webinar. You discussed how life was able to, or is capable of giving us like a visual sensation to the users of the space, and the different types of lights, like the artificial and the natural lighting, the different types of parameters we should be considering, like lumens, intensities, uh, luminance, and of course the different terminologies that we should be familiarized with, especially as interior designers and future interior designers. Um, it also discussed a lot of ratings, installations, and types of different terminologies like luminaires, fixtures, and fittings. You also clarified a few misconceptions about lumens and watts, which is quite interesting personally for me. Uh, the different types of beams and lights that we can use for different types of spaces like retails, museums, restaurants, warehouses, and even offices. So basically, just to sum it all up, light can also be used to create focal points, provide task lighting to work more efficiently, help in creating and making foods more look more appetizing, and how it can be able to produce natural colors depending on the temperature of lights that we use. What types of what types of lights we can use indoors and outdoors, and it can also be used in way of giving direction to a certain space. So it was a very eye-opening webinar because you shared with us how much technicality and considerations of lighting uh, basically is needed for a designer to be able to make spaces that are more effective in terms of the projects that we would be handling later on. So again, thank you very much, Ms. Jocelyn and Sir Melvin.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. All right. We are quite yes.
Over.
I'd like to that Melvin will coordinate with you and get a list of the participant and their contact details because we want to send a token of appreciation for each and every one of those who attended also. No? And maybe would like we will be sending our brochures so that they can have an idea ano ba yung mga products namin. No? So we'll send it probably via courier or FedEx or what.
Wow,
And
thank you
That
so
would be
much.
great. We're
Wow.
so thankful for that. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Jo. Actually, medyo nahihiya lang kami. Masyado na namin kinain yung time nyo. Pero I believe kids, the kids who are, for the kids who are here, actually Sir Melvin and Miss Jo prepared a virtual tour for us sana in their showroom. And before we say goodbye to each other, would you guys agree to see it or do we just upload the video?
Yeah.
What do you think? Andito na eh.
Siguro ano,
Upload na lang
next
po.
time na. Next
Okay,
time
it will
na.
take,
sure.
it will take,
Yeah.
Alright.
para hindi
You can
nagmamadali.
share. You can share na lang also, Sir Melvin, the video that
Correct,
you have.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pwede.
By the way, I'd just like to mention
Yes, plugging time.
yung showroom namin kasi sa BGC, no? We closed it down. Yung decorative designer lightings namin na showroom sa BGC, we closed it down because medyo mahirap pumunta roon, right? Yung mga tao are quite afraid to go to malls right now, no? So we moved it to here dito sa may Pedro Hill Street corner, Rojas Boulevard. It's beside Diamond Hotel. It's the old Don Henrico's there. So if it will be finished in 1 month time. So after that, we are going to make it as a virtual showroom, right? So if ayaw nilang pumunta, they can visit the showroom, the virtual showroom, and check out the products there. Right? So yun lang. And we are in the process of building our new office and warehouse in the West Service Road. After 2 years, we will definitely have a beautiful showroom again, and we will invite you all. Right, that's
We're
all.
excited. We're looking forward. Hopefully, we're all vaccinated by then.
Ano pala, Ma'am Jo, announce ko na. Hintayin nyo, may bago kaming endorser.
Hindi na si Mark Nelson.
May bago
Korean
kaming
ba yan?
endorser.
Korean ba yan, sir?
BTS po ba to?
Korean. No, wala.
Medyo.
BTS.
Okay, we're excited. Naiintriga po kami dyan. Thank you for giving us the scoop. Alright.
We are very alive na company that we tend to ang tawag dito, shake the the market on lighting sometimes Gusto naming parang gisingin, all right? Gisingin yung market, no? So that's
Naghahanap
why
ako ng keywords
That twist ako na lang. No joke.
Okay. Alright.
Okay,
Miss Kat,
so that's
for closing.
it. Yeah, we're closing. Thank you so much, Miss Jo and Sir Melvin. Hope to invite you once again next time. If let me know also if you have new items or new products that you want to share with us. Probably you can send us the brochure or any or dossier if you have, so that we can share this to the students also.
great.
Alright.
Thank
It's
you.
because there's a lot of innovations kasi sa lighting.
Yeah,
We as designers, we also have to keep ourselves updated with those things so that we can share also with our students.
Actually,
Alright.
with we have not the specialization in interior
That's
lighting.
speaking nga, I was speaking.
yeah.
We have a
So
specialization.
yeah, starting next term we will be offering the first course for the specialization field, kasi actually Benilde Interior Design already offers 5 specializations. So when they graduate, they'll specialize in certain field already. So we also have lighting design, set and lighting design. Yeah, so
Wow.
that's a 3 courses na, what do you call these? 3 courses. So we will
Wow.
offer 3 courses for them. The last part is going to be the practicum part. So maybe, we can work on that also. See what we can do. If you can also inform us, Miss Jo, if like mga lighting coordinators or lighting designer that or lighting engineers that that we can invite through you, let us know. It will be great opportunity also for us.
Sige, we'll do that. Let's do that. Oo.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We hope you learned a lot for today. We know that 1 day and even 2 hours will never be enough to expand what you should know, but you have the basics, you have the foundations. We're here to actually expand that further for you guys as you move along with your subjects. Don't be shy to ask your professors. Don't be shy to go and approach professionals. And yeah, thank you for being with us and attending this insightful webinar. Thank you again, Sir Melvin and Ms. Jocelyn, for being with us today. Thank you. Stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Okay, Miss Hannah, we can stop recording.